everybody. Coco, come here. Oh, I was trying to hold Coco, and she's freaking out like a lunatic. How is everybody on this glorious day? I am so out of it. I feel like I'm just exhausted from a long week, but we have drinks and stuff. I'm just tired. I literally, we went and saw Little Mermaid yesterday, Paper Mill Playhouse. I think I just had way too many drinks in too short of a time. I was trying to chug drinks before we went in, and I was like, I feel like I had way more than I intended. I feel great, but I just feel exhausted now. Subtitles, English. What am I? I'm messing something up. Quality, subtitles, options. I don't know why they're not gigantic. We like them gigantic. So, that being said, there is that. I just got to do the clock. I do have it set right, 11:25. Give me a second. We'll do a shot. We'll wake up a little. I was doing reactions way earlier today, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to take a break. And then I started watching rabbit hole YouTube videos. Not videos on actual rabbit holes, but I went down a rabbit hole of YouTube. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just getting the clock now because I always almost start up without the clock. 11:25, that's all I gotta do is set the clock. We're gonna go. I did see that the break is around a 1:30, give or take, is the break, which means it's an hour and 20 minutes. We are gonna go a little past that. Because I want to get at least halfway through this episode. And then after the break, I feel like after the break, we'll go like another 20 minutes or so, like we did last week. 11. I like to get it. I like to do what we did in campaign 2, where we get a good half of the episode in the books, and then I break up the rest for the Patreon and Vox O'Clock. So, boop. All right, we got that. We did switch. Oh no. Now I have to think. Yeah, no, we didn't switch. My question was going to be, are we going to switch? Because see how Marisha's up here? Marisha's in episode 19. I do have the right one, right? Marisha's up here, but we don't have Marisha. I was wondering if we were going to switch back. It makes more sense that we would jump right into the sequel to the first part. But I was wondering if they were going to like give everyone a break on that side of things. What is happening here? Where's the black? I'm hitting the black. Oh, what? I don't understand anything. Nope, wrong one. Where are you? Oh, it's there. Okay. What are you doing? All right, we're all set up. Let me just lower this a little because apparently it wants to play games with me. All right, that's all set up. Everything's set up. Let me talk to the chat. I haven't said hi to anybody yet. First off, Ninja Master with a $2 super chat to Ninja Master. Ninja Master, you're going to get the first shot. We're going to do a shot before we even say hi to everybody. What is going on with the crowns? I did, out of the corner of my eye, notice the crowns. I'm going to have to read because I'm sure somebody has explained it. It's funny, before I say what I was going to... Well, I'm going to say what I was going to say first. A couple days ago, Ray, my brother, sent me a thing and was like, yo, you could do this thing. I mean, I'm sure it's been around for a while and you could probably do other things similar. But he was saying how there's like a marble game and it's like a thing you play in the chat where like whoever chats the most, or I don't know how it's exactly done. But he was like, it's a game for the people to play to rank them in chat based on their interactions. And then I jumped on and I see there's something that looks similar to what my brother was talking about. So I do see Vero G, Michael, and Colvin are 1, 2, and 3. And I'm pretty sure, let's say hi to everybody first. We got Ninja Master, HollyMac79, Michael, Vero G, my brother, the Dude JB, and Ace, all 5 my moderators. Whether they're here or not, they always get a hearty shout out. We have Star, Colvin, Backless Door, Ninja Master with the $2 super chat. We're going to have a shot for Ninja to start everything off. And I think I might have named everybody already that's in the chat. Let me go all the way to the beginning. Colvin, yeah. So the first ones in here were Holly Mac, Vera J, Colvin. So I don't know exactly how it's working. So are we thinking Jay will be 15 minutes late? You were pretty accurate. Backless door. The funny thing is, I'm not even kidding you. I was early. It was another one of those days where I was really early, and I was like, "Oh, I got 10 minutes to spare. I might go. I might as well like go check on my dad, see how things are." And then he was talking to me about something, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I made like sausage and peppers if you want any on the stove." And I'm like, "Well, I probably should eat something before the live stream." So then I made a sandwich, and then I started talking to my mom, and then one thing led to another, and I'm like, I went from having an extra 10 minutes to being 10 or 15 minutes late. But then I was sitting in this chair and I was just trying to get everything ready, and something went wrong with something. I had technical difficulties with something. So I was in the chair ready to go, but backless door, I cannot I cannot knock the fact that you regardless you guessed correctly. Regardless of what the excuse or the reason for me, you said I'd be about 15 minutes late, and I jumped on about exactly 15 minutes late. I think I jumped on at 6 on the dot, which we set it for 5:45. So good on backless door. We're going to have a shot for Ninja. Hey Jay, sorry I missed last week. Was LARP camping with bad service. We assumed so much. I think it was Clever or somebody was talking about how I should go glamping, and I don't think I had ever heard of glamping before. There's a very good chance I have, and I just forgot, but I didn't know. I was told it is glamorous camping. When I was told it was that, I was like, oh, I kind of do feel like I've heard of this before. But regardless, I did not go glamping. I did nothing. All Memorial Day weekend, literally, I hung out with Lauren. I saw Lauren all weekend. She had no plans or anything, so we hung out every day. We saw Lilo and Stitch, and then I grilled with my family on Monday. I didn't see her. I saw her Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I saw Lauren, and then Monday I grilled with my family, and then the rest of the week was just basically trying to recover because I drank quite a bit over the weekend. Quite a bit over the weekend. So let's celebrate the end of Memorial Day weekend and drinking too much with the start of a new weekend and a shot. I still haven't seen Mission Impossible, if you could believe that. Mission Impossible was my most anticipated movie of the year, of the summer, I guess I'd say. Most anticipated movie of the summer by far was Mission Impossible. I still have not seen it. I've seen every movie opening night, Thunderbolts and anything you could think of that was like a big deal this year. Lilo and Stitch I saw the next day because I wanted to go with Lauren. But most of the time I go to these things opening night or opening day. And I had just heard so many like reviews where it was like it's okay that it like totally killed my rushing out to see it. I'm definitely still gonna see it, and I'm sure it will be enjoyable for me because people said if you're a fan of Mission Impossible, you'll like the last one. People do say it also is probably not one of the best. I've heard it is probably the worst, if not second to worst. We were talking about this last week. Still haven't seen it, but I heard on the ranking it is second. It's like on the bottom of the list, which isn't saying it's bad. It's just not great. So, cheers to Ninja Master with the $2 super chat by Ninja Master. Cheers to everybody. We are going to get rolling soon, so set the clock. We're going to go to the break. Then we're going to take a break, reset the clock, probably go another 20 minutes past the break. It is, I think it's a little over 4 hours, but it's under 4 hours if you count the exit. It's like another 25-minute exit from what I saw. So I want to get till about like the 1:45 2-hour mark, and then we'll cut it in half and do the Patreon hour and everything else. So cheers to Ninja Master, first shot of the night. Delicious. I'm going to pour the next one too, just so we have it on deck. Another shot. Oh my god, it's so cold, and I'm afraid I'm going to slip because it is like icy slidiness. All right, next shot is poured. I'm going to put this on the floor because it's drippings with goo. Surprised enrolled into a summer job at 5 in the morning. Basically, enrolled into a summer job at 5 in the morning, basically, but living and breathing, so I'm chugging along, so pretty good. How about you, my guy? Well, but AJ, blah, blah, blah. I mean, hey, do what you gotta do. Summer job at 5 in the morning. I mean, in all honesty, who was I just talking to about this? Someone I was just talking to about this was like, I got a new job and I started kind of getting up at like 3:30 in the morning or something like that. I was literally just talking to somebody about this. They were like, I just started a new job and it's like what I always wanted to do, but I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. And they're like, it's like my dream job. But like, I was like in my head thinking, how would it feel to have your dream job but you have to do it at 3:30 in the morning? Like, I'm going to sleep around 3:30. My whole life, you guys know me, I am very much a night owl. I'm usually still up. Like, if you are a friend of mine, well, you're all a friend of mine. But if you knew me on a personal level and like actually like text me and called me and hung out with me, I more than not will be up around 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning is around the time I start considering going to bed. But around like 2, 3 o'clock is where I decide, like, all right, am I going to call it a night? And then I start wrapping things up. But I'm always involved in something like where I like silence. So like my parents go to bed around like 8, 9 o'clock. Both my parents go to bed. I take care of them. Then Jesse and Robbie are up usually till like 11, 12 o'clock. But then when everyone goes to sleep is like when I am at my best because I just like silence and I can run around and get things done without interference. And I typically will stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning, just like doing, errands, like running around, cleaning stuff, getting emails done, recording last minute videos. I am just a night person. So if you had told me I had to get it would literally rearrange my entire life. And it helped that the arcade was like that. The arcade, I would be there till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning every time I worked. So it was like the perfect job for that because then I'd get home, I'd make something to eat, I'd shower, I'd be in bed by like 3, 4 in the morning. And I would repeat this whole shenanigan. But that being said, let me go. I'm going to go in my account, my secondary account. Everyone liked the video. I feel like a lot of people have not liked. Noah Summers has joined the chat. Welcome, Noah. We have a lot of people in the chat, but we don't have a lot of likes. Neil is on his way home. Neil just texted me. He will be home in 15 minutes. So my good friend Neil will be jumping on the live stream shortly. I already told Michelle, Ray and everybody obviously knows too, but this is my backup account. So I'm going to see now what the XP does. All right. I just liked. What if I go like, what's up, chat? That's me that did that. See, that's me, Jason Masters. Oh, yeah, there we go. I earned 25 experience points. I like it. So, I probably should have said bidet. I was just like, is it always 25? Is it always 25? I didn't get 25 experience. Maybe some... Oh, no, there it goes. I just got it now. It's just a little delayed. I dig it. Jason, yes, as you can see, there's my backup account, Jason Masters. That is my name. Lauren was just telling me, those of you who don't know, there was a movie in the early 2000s. Amanda Bynes was in it called Love Wrecked. And she was like, I was just randomly catching part of a movie, and in it, Amanda Bynes is obsessed and in love with Jason Masters. Go look it up. The love interest of Amanda Bynes is Jason Masters in the hit movie Love Wrecked that no one's probably heard of because it's probably on as far as Amanda Bynes. You know Amanda Bynes if you grew up with all that and stuff like that. But as far as that goes, most people probably wouldn't know Amanda Bynes, and it's probably her last or least popular movie on top of that. So hit the radiators, everybody. We're going to hit the radiators. Like the video if you haven't. We are almost halfway to 50 likes. 50 likes, we'll jump into the bonus 30 minutes. We will shave it off the Patreon hour. We will jump into bonus time. So, everybody... Get ready. Radiators Unite. Radiators Unite. We'll also do another shot. Michael or anybody in the chat, was there anything we needed to celebrate or honor? Was there any celebrity birthdays or interesting events or things going on in the world of people in our lives? Or was there any celebrity deaths? So people probably said 50,000 things up top, and I just couldn't catch up with the chat. Also, Jay is probably on top only chat mode, so he's missing a lot. What do I have to put it at? Live chat. There we go. We're back in live chat mode. How do I permanently put it in live chat mode? I don't know if I can. Live chat, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, it's in live chat mode now. Just my life, not celebrity life. Check your DMs, Jay. Do-do-do. Boo-do-do. Oh, that is correct. I think I did remember something. Hold up. Check in. Michael did send me something. Michael earlier sent me the... That is correct. I just wanted to make sure. So this, we have Norm, well, we did Norm McDonald, not Norm McDonald, Norm from Cheers. Holly's dog. I don't know if we want to get into details. It's up to Holly if Holly wants to, but I was told by Michael that Holly's dog had to be put down. So we are honoring Holly's dog, Coco. Same as my cat. Where is my cat? Somewhere in this room is my cat. Must be in the honey pot. Coco, same name as mine, just spelled differently. Cheers in honor of Holly's dog, Coco. R.I.P. Shot for Coco. Okay. Sorry about that, Holly. Michael did tell me earlier this week. When was it? I don't even, it was definitely earlier this week because I remember Michael telling me before. But apologies, I my sincerest, the Discord has most of the details. Thanks, guys. Coco, this is the Radiator hit as well for Coco. Like and subscribe, everybody. We're hitting the Radiators and we're starting up. It's 11:25 on the clock. Here we go. Never mind. We're not doing it yet because it's jammed. Oh, there it goes. All right. I have to charge it a little bit. It's still working, as you can see, but I feel like I have to charge it a little. And here we go, everybody. We're going to do 3, 2, 1. Like the video. We're past halfway to halfway. We're halfway to halfway on the likes, everybody. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God, it's blowing your ears out. Oh no, it's not even on. Never mind. There you go. Sorry about that.
Whoa.
That's not bad.
I thought I was blowing your ears out, and instead there wasn't even words.
There's a lot of gas going on.
So that's the deal, guys. We're going to go, in case you missed, we're going to go to the break, which is at 1:30.
All right.
From there, the break ends around 1:47.
Go for Grog's initiative.
We're going to go to
18 for me.
about
Yes.
2 on the clock.
Oh, that's good.
Because it ends at 3:50.
19
Plus
for
the
Grog.
thing.
All right, so we have 25 to 20.
Maybe we'll
Anyone?
go to like
28.
2:15, give or take.
20?
But we got at
You
least
rolled a natural 20.
an hour and a half.
Another
We're going to do at least an hour and a
Those
half,
dice
everybody,
are
just so you know.
magic.
They are.
Hour and a half to
I
2
sacrificed a
hours.
small child in this dice.
We're going to do.
Nine.
So Percy's up first.
And we're in the middle
20
of battle.
anybody else
We're
above
engaged
20?
in battle.
I rolled a 20,
It's
but I
Frost
have a negative
Giants, in
2
case you didn't say. I was
Okay.
very excited to
19 or
see.
18.
We were
19
given
for Grog.
Looking for Grog.
news by the orcs. We murdered a
also
bunch of
for
orcs.
Lyra?
The orcs told us, go chase this dragon to this mountain. We went to the mountain.
Sweet.
We were about to climb the mountain, which Grog,
So 15 to 10.
we were told that
15.
Grog could scale this mountain. Speaking of which, where is Grog? Who knows? I don't know. His wife was there.
13 is pretty good.
But while we were
This bodes
determining
well.
whether or not we could scale the mountain, Frost Giant
All right, that'll do it.
hurled
So at the
an
top of the round,
ice
as
ball at
one
Vex.
giant has pulled itself out of the cavern.
30
and begins
damage,
shouting
I think it
over
was.
the giant
30
about
damage,
the
I think it was for
intruders.
Vex.
The secondary one that comes stalking out of the forest.
Happy
both with
birthday
these
to
giant
Vinny.
axes that
Vinny,
were
happy
currently held
birthday.
On the side of leather belts. Give it a bellowing scream and go charging into the fray. At the top of the round, though, Percy is ready. What you got?
I thought
Alright,
you tried
I'm going
not to do that
What
on
is that
screen.
strange orange thing
I-
right here?
Probably
this is actually a
shouldn't,
tree.
as
That's
far
a
as
tree.
the,
Okay,
the
good. So
smoke.
that's covered.
This one up there, yeah.
Um,
This rock and these boulders here have
I
some
feel like if
cover,
I
but from
hide
giant
the
puts a
thing,
very large
it
perspective,
probably
maybe
isn't a
not
good
as much as
idea
you
to
think.
start.
okay, so is there any
But
way
like
I
for
can
me to
maybe
do.
get some
You're
partial
right.
cover?
Vinny
right
can have a
over here?
drink in
You
the
can move over this
EU
way, yeah.
now.
So
Michael,
I've got
did
cover
we
from
find
the
any
tree
news
from
out
this
about
one.
whether I could get Final
That's all
Fantasy
those.
Magic
But I
the
can kinda
Gathering
see this
cards?
guy.
Correct.
I did
It is
find
bad
out
news
from
time. I'm gonna bust
the
out.
guy that works
Take a
at the
shot.
arcade for
All
me
right, so
that My friend still does own and operate one nearby me, so I'm gonna hit him up later today.
All right. They're pretty big.
Someone told me, like, yeah, so and so, his name is Paul. They're like, yeah, Paul still comes in the arcade. It's just never when I'm there, so I'm like, I'm gonna text Paul and be like, yo, long time no see, can you get me Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering?
21 will hit.
I hear it is nearly impossible. Somebody told me they're upwards of like $800 to $1,000 for one
That's a good shot.
box.
Oh yeah.
Michael,
That's,
you got it? Like, you actually could get them, or you're gonna find out?
33 points of damage.
I want the collector's packs.
So as you hear, and you hear,
I want to have the
loud
highest percentage to get.
Explosion that kind of echoes
you
through
know,
this,
rare
this
cards.
small valley at the base.
I'm
of the
doing it
mountain.
because I want to collect
And from
them.
the
I've
corner
said
of your
this
eye,
before.
first time you've seen
I don't
this
play
weapon,
Magic, but I
do
collect
this wonders. You
stuff.
see a
I'm a big
flash of light,
fan
a
of
plume
collecting,
smoke
and Final
goes up,
Fantasy,
and you
Magic.
see this
Two things I've always loved:
impossibly
Magic
fast
the Gathering
blast
and
of
Final
some
Fantasy.
projectile
I feel like I must
go
take part.
slamming into the shoulder of the giant over here that's currently reaching for a rock. It pushes him back against the wall, which prevents him from falling over, and he catches himself. Looks back, and you can see there's a small crater in the armor where a little bit of blood begins to pour out, and a little bit of smoke seems to be pouring out of the impact.
Blood.
Gives out a really angry yell. You can see like
He's not
spittle
very
that begins
pleased.
to kind of shake loose and spray from his mouth out of frustration. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn. I'm
Spittle.
yeah,
You're gonna
I'm
hear
now going-
noises.
maybe
I'm
I shouldn't have
pouring
done
it.
that, but
Icy
Very
goodness.
impressive. It was
Oh.
very impressive.
That didn't work
All
out.
right, Grog's up first.
Bro.
I was trying to pour the ice into her, and
No,
instead.
Bro doesn't want to rage. Bro
Oh,
shouts
that
out
probably was
in
really loud.
giant
I'm a piece of
that,
shit.
wait.
I honestly wanted that ice to go in, and instead it just totally backfired.
My
Oh, wow.
giant masters were killed by a white dragon, which we think is here.
I love it.
Will you help us fight him?
That was pretty good. I dig
Okay,
it.
so
I'm
Grog
in.
stands
That
there,
was
shouting this
well
out to
done.
both sides of the two giants.
Also,
Have
Felicia
Grog
Day
go
is
ahead
here,
and
as
roll
well as
a
Mary
persuasion
Elizabeth
check.
McGlynn.
Okay.
If you did not know,
Use Grog's dice.
yes. I'm still curious as to why Marisha was on
Okay. Wait, that's
the
For those keeping track, Hopper, it's another
thumbnail.
like to negotiate.
It is. I've almost got to assume that at some point Marisha's gonna jump on the scene. Like, is Marisha? Are we gonna slowly add people to the fray? Like, from what I remember, we were split up into two groups. But what if we start? I don't know. That wouldn't work out based on what we were
So
told.
as Grog shouts this
Oh
out,
wait.
Does it Grog take 2 actions or no?
no,
Got you
That's
covered.
his action.
Michael
That's-
got you covered.
he's not putting up any
Picked
aggressive
up
action.
500 packs of
Advantage,
Fanatics,
however,
2mm 2 and 5.
he is
What does this
speaking
mean?
giant,
Picked up
and he's
500
in the
pack of Fanatics,
Um,
2mm 2 and 5x8.
because you have an
What does
entire
this
band of
mean,
seemingly
Michael?
advancing
I'm
and
out
armed
of the realm of
individuals
collecting
that are currently stalking
to the
towards
extent of
appears to be the
knowing
home
what
of
this
these
means.
individuals, so.
Fanatics, it's 500
Unfortunately.
pack. It's making me think
They
it's like
seem
card
unfazed,
protectors or something.
and
Sleeves,
the one in the
some
back
sort of
seems almost
sleeves or
partially
card
amused at
protectors.
this play, and you can see
I
as
used to
he
be
kind of
so
takes his
involved in the
axe
comic book
and
card
kind of, puts it up
collecting
against his
world.
shoulder
My
and
whole
runs
attic. I've
across
got to
the
start
leather,
going through stuff.
and then a
I
very
probably
aggressive, kind of
like
intimidating
damaged
fashion, he
thousands
stalks
of
forward out of the
dollars
forest.
worth of
We can go
collectibles in my attic
move it
because I'm a
over.
horrible
Yeah, would you like Grog?
bastard.
Where is he?
I should be
He's ready.
beaten.
Kind of hard to
Okay.
miss. Where would you like Grog to move?
Anybody new in the
There's a
chat?
Giant rock there.
Anybody new in the chat?
He's just gonna stay there.
Okay, Grog is going to stand up against the rock. His axe
Oh, what
across the
size? Oh,
front.
there we go. What size
All right.
sleeves? I just saw
And
back when Star
Grog's
said
turn.
it.
Vex, you're up.
Yeah, they are split into two groups, but I think Travis shows up later.
Silence for
Moment of silence for that horrible.
Yeah, I was watching
thing
a
just
show the
witnessed.
other day. I don't know why I've gotten back into like card
Yes.
collecting in the
You're
sense
over here, you
of
just got up off
I
the ground
want
after
to
being
get back
slammed with a
in.
boulder and you have
I don't know
three
I'm
how to go
very-
about it
I'm
because
hurt.
everything I want to collect
very
is
hurt.
like
Can I get up?
impossible
Am I
to
prone?
find.
What am I
You-
Like,
in the
I don't
process, you've
mind-
gotten up
I don't
on your
mind
feet
spending
as they kind
money
of lurched forward and began
on
shouting at each other about the
rarer
intruders,
type
so you're on your feet.
collectibles. Like I
Okay,
like
I
more
am
expensive,
going to
rarer types.
cast,
I'd rather spend $100 on like a couple packs of cards
Hunter's Mark.
and have like one really nice,
On the one that
valuable
took
card
enough
than
damage already.
spend like
Already.
$20 on a bunch of useless
And then
packs
I'm
that I'm
gonna
gonna like
shoot him.
just get a bunch of commons and normal
With-
cards that everyone gets.
All these
I
are
like
full
I
of
like
really large
the thrill of
people.
the chase
I'm gonna
too.
shoot him.
I'm a big time gambler, so I
times.
like
Can I shoot him 3 times?
them being like,
you
you
have
can
two
spend
times.
$100 on this pack of
Shoot him
cards, and you
2
might
times.
find like
Okay.
a card worth $1,000, or you might get a card worth $1 and you wasted $100. I like the
14 for that.
risk.
That
I like the
probably
gamble.
14 also
And
doesn't
I see
hit
that
the
they do that a
second time.
lot nowadays. Like back when I was
Oh my
younger,
God, what is
That wasn't a thing. You just bought like a booster pack, and you hoped you got a lucky card. They didn't have, from what I remember, back when I collected, they didn't have like buy this special pack and your odds go up of getting like a special.
Your ranger focus.
Please don't do Pokemon. I honestly haven't had an interest in Pokemon, even though I was a massive Pokemon Go fanatic. I really dug the Final Fantasy. I saw Lord of the Rings, but that was like a year or two ago, and it's already like overdone. There was one with animals, and I also saw Lorcana, the Disney one.
I am gonna run.
I'm a
over
massive
to
Disney
the
fan,
cover.
so I was like, maybe, like how but I want
What is
something
that
that's
other
like
side?
collectible and
In
will
that little
stand
cavern thing, yeah.
the test of time. That's why I like Magic,
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna hide in
Magic
that
has
little
been around
thing, go
forever,
drink
so I
it,
know it'll
hide with
last.
me.
Lorcana, I never really heard of until recently,
It's not
and
All right, and that's your turn.
like I said, I would have done the. There was something called like
Okay.
Billowborough.
I am freaked out right now. These
Billborough
are
or
very large
Billowborough,
individuals. I've
and it
only
was
heard
like
about them, and
reminded
they
me of
smell
Redwall, like
slightly
all
like
the
feet.
mices
So I
and
am going to-
rodents and stuff
That
that were
just
like
is a
in
stench.
battle
That
mode.
is like an
It looked like
acid
something like
potion
that. I
so
don't
I'm
know
gonna
if it was directly
10 of
related,
D6
but I used to read all
do
those books,
disintegrate.
Whoa.
Redwall, and I can't remember any of the other names,
I mean,
but there's a ton of them.
it seems excessive, but they're very large men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
There
4,
are
5.
Critical Role cards. I think that
one
Felicia
looks
is
like
a
bull
ball.
in the nether regions.
You
Okay.
will never
There you go.
expect anything that she does, and she is really funny. I would agree with
I
that
don't
as
think I
well.
can reach that
Jay, I'll
one,
have a
guys.
collector's Final Fantasy box for you.
boy.
I was answering back the store which
spelled she.
sleeves I was using for the dagger
I should have
heart
written that
cards.
down.
Michael, if I receive a collector's
Oh, there it is.
Final
60 feet.
Fantasy box,
60 feet?
I will
Yeah, they're both within range.
be ever so pleased. I'm gonna do a complete unboxing
All
on.
right, go
That
for
always
it.
makes
Like
makes
Michael,
sense, right?
obviously, I know
Alright,
people
so
keep
for that
them.
one, do you have to
A
make
lot of
a-
times people keep the
an actual
boxes
No,
just to
I
like
don't.
hold
I
on
know.
to. I literally
these are
wanted it
forced-
so I could do like an
I was right,
unboxing.
point out
Would
Eugenie has
that be a
some-
good idea?
Okay.
Which is good.
If you could actually get it for me, I would love to
6.
do.
6.
What do they call it when it's packs of
Well, don't say
cards?
that.
An unpacking. I would do an unpacking. I'm just like I just want to do something like that with like something highly collectible, and I feel like Final Fantasy would be an amazing way to start
Alright,
it.
that's 20
Mainly because I
20
myself just want
plus,
to collect again.
Now you're all staring at me. 30.
I haven't collected Magic cards since 2014,
40
15.
points of damage.
I was talking to someone about this. I don't think I've bought a pack of Magic cards since we were talking last week. Well, that's who I was
40
talking
plus
to.
40.
I think Arabian Nights or Ice Age was the last set I
And
ever
he failed the
bought.
saving throw.
There might have been one or two after that,
In your anus.
but I'm talking like
That's what she yells. She's like,
that had to have been like late 90s, early 2000s. Arabian Nights had to be like I don't even. I feel like I was still in high
sickly
school.
green ray of energy just streaks forth from
We're
her
gonna look
finger.
it
The giant kind of looks at
Arabian
it awkwardly in the
Nights
split second that it hits him in
Magic.
the front of his chest, and
What are we
suddenly the
talking?
armor in front of him turns to
93.
dust. You can see his
Is
flesh
that
begin to
right?
just disappear in front of him.
Can that be right?
It suddenly tries to gasp for air
Oh my
as you see
God.
part of its jaw
I'm
begin to just
pretty sure that
turn
is.
to sand, and it's
that
actually
be right?
struggling.
Oh my God,
in
that
series
makes
of
me feel
pain.
really
It's
old.
still standing, but you can see a large part of his body now is just missing. It looks like it got. It's almost like a portion of it.
Magic the Gathering is like
rotted
crack
right
for
before
cards.
you, but there's no
it's
actual
addictive and so hard to
necrosis.
stop
It's just
playing.
gone.
That's
Flesh
like,
is
see, I
missing from a
want
large part
something
of
like
its body.
when I was younger,
It
I
looks like it's
collected
doing
so many
really
things.
poorly.
And I didn't have money to do it. I was like
Lurches
broke and
forward
barely
one of
had
its
money, and I
arms
would
is
spend
not
every
working as
paycheck
well,
on
and
my
it kinda looks at
collections.
you with a look of confusion,
Now, I have tons of
frustration,
money,
how could
and I don't
you?
have time to
It's
collect anything.
incredulous
So
in
it's
its
like I was like, I
torturous
want to go
pain.
back to
And I go,
the enjoyment
well,
of
no,
actually
I'm doing it.
unboxing
Giant
things
is
and
the only thing I
collecting
know in
things
Giant,
again.
it's like,
And
it
I feel like
comes out- I
Final
think it
Fantasy
says,
Magic
You are my foe.
would
and
be
then
an
I
interesting
actually
start. Being
say,
as I already have
"My
Magic
cat
the Gathering
is your friend."
collections, it's like I would be like branching off of a collection I've already started many
As the tongue
moons
kind of
ago.
lolls out of where its cheek once was.
I still have my old cards from the 90s. I play every once in a
That's
while. Yeah,
angry
all my
white
cards
eyes
are in
glaring
the attic.
progressively
That's why I
at
said,
you.
like,
You
this
should
summer,
move
I
into
say
Oh,
it
I
every
think
year,
I'm
but this
going to,
summer, I
jump
really
behind that
should
little
take
alcove
everything
right
out of the attic
Over
and
here?
properly
no,
reorganize
behind
it
the little- behind the
because
little rock.
we had
Where am I?
squirrel
Right here.
infestations
over
and stuff.
there. Yeah,
There's a
I'm
good
going to
chance
get,
that my attic has been destroyed.
Just stand there. I'm just too frustrated.
Therefore,
This
ruined
is too situational
thousands.
for me.
I already went up there
All right.
once. I found a couple Star Wars toys. I'm talking vintage ones from the
This
70s,
very unhappy
from the
giant
original
is
Star
going
Wars
to-
line.
Got to turn.
And I saw
Reach
one
over.
of them was
There's one
like
good
gnawed
arm. The
down,
other one's kinda touching
like
the
when you have a
axis, then
marker and you
grabs
like
another
rub it
rock
on
off the ground,
asphalt and it
flying
gets
nearby.
all gnawed up. It looked like a squirrel or something had
I should've moved.
gotten it out of one of my boxes.
That
And
is
it was luckily it was like a
16. What's
stormtrooper,
your
which is
armor
like
class?
the most common figure ever. I
Yeah,
probably have
you-
100
unable to move
vintage
out of the way, you look over
stormtroopers
and
up in my
watch it come
attic.
towards you as it
But
slowly spins
I was
in
like,
the air.
oh
Time seems
god,
to
I
slow
can
as
only
you make
imagine how much
no
stuff
attempt
is
to shift out
damaged
of the
up
way.
here.
Whack! It slams into you. The physical pain, not hitting in as the immediate look of the sight of white. Your vision is actually knocked to nothingness briefly. You end up taking. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, Lyra. No, Lyra, no.
No, Lyra, no.
Okay. You take 32 points of.
We'll
bludgeoning
talk
damage.
about the Final Fantasy cards later, and if you come
Not bad
for
damage for a
free
tiny
RPG
woman.
Day, the store has so much stuff you'll like.
But you have
Free.
You have strength.
Oh, that's right. When is that, Michael? You did tell me about free RPG Day.
And as soon
It's
as you
Nudie
recover from it,
Magazine
your
Day.
vision
I recently
clarifies, you
started
begin to be able to see
dabbling
anything
in
before
Magic
you,
the
and one thing
Gathering
you see is that same giant is
Arena
stalking
2,
up
LOL.
right into your
Yeah,
face
I just,
with its
I was
axes
trying to
kind of
think,
guiding
like,
its
I
wings
love
over its good
retro
hand and
gaming
rears
and stuff
up,
like
preparing
that,
itself
but
for another round.
I
That
feel
ends
like
that giant's turn.
like I've seen so many like horror stories where people have where people have bought
going five,
rare
6,
games
and
and then they
two of
don't
you.
work. I remember one of my friends was
you
trying to
guys,
get like
Zara and
Earthbound,
Scanlan, as you see
and
this
it was some like
happening, you hear
collectible Earthbound
footfalls
edition
behind you
that
over
was
your
like
shoulder. The
hundreds, if
second
not
giant comes
thousands
up,
of
the shield in
dollars,
one arm,
and he bought it
axe
over
in
the
the
internet,
other,
and
and
it was
giant swing
real,
towards the two of
but
you.
the game didn't work. And he was like, I mean, like, there's nothing you could really do. I mean, I guess you could sue or do whatever you want, but it's like, I don't like buying things that are easily faked or things that could be totally real and break.
Yes.
That's what it scares me too, because there's people that
7
get
points of slashing
like
damage.
bootleg
Decent.
booster boxes. I saw the one where what was it, Jake
All right,
Paul,
and that is a,
where he bought like
going off
the
here?
first edition
31
Pokemon
points of
booster
slashing
box,
damage
and it
to
was
you,
like a
Zara.
fake box.
And just
Inside was like
whack
GI
into the
Joe
both of you.
cards or
You almost
something
knock
like
off your
that.
feet from the sheer blow.
That
Most
would
of
be
the
my
armor
fear.
takes the damage, but you can feel
That like
a heavy
you're like
bruise
it's one
and,
thing to be
you
willing to
underneath
spend
your
the
arm, you can feel a
money
little bit of blood beginning to
on
soak through
like
from
because a lot of it is
severe
expensive,
impact.
ridiculous
Part of the
amounts of
armor plating
money.
might have cut in
It's
from
one
your
thing to
torso.
risk the money
Put you right
for
yourself there.
the
That
chance,
ends their turn.
but
That
it's
brings us
totally
to
different to
Scanlan.
risk the
Okay.
money and then find out you have zero
Question.
chance because it's all a lie. I would freak
If I hold
out.
a turn, do I hold the whole turn or just my? Can I hold an action but do the bonus actions? What? How does it work?
You get to take your all turn at once. You can hold your initiative, meaning you can wait to activate your turn later in the tier, but you can't piecemeal your.
Okay.
I
I'm gonna
absolutely
just
love
move. I'm gonna act.
when Matt
I'm
hand
going to
draws
move.
maps. I agree.
things.
Wrong topic to be reacting
So I
that
turned
way.
to the guy who just hit me.
That was a
and
very
I'm gonna
weird
cast dominate
ad. It
person
took up
on
only
him.
half the screen,
will
and I
sing
could
some
see.
Sort of a song
That's
to
that. I've
dominate
seen those a
him.
bunch, Star.
I
I've
will
seen those
say,
ads where like it'll pop up on my phone because I'm watching along with you guys, and I'll see an ad pop up. And I'm like half the screen, and it'll be like, hit this button if you want to buy this, or I don't know. It has some like weird thing.
You would know that. You
I
be-
would know that. Well, then I guess I won't do
I
that.
would know that.
You turn. Your instinct is there, and you're like, these are a little out of your reach as far as that spell's concerned.
Okay. 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 Well then,
Okay. As soon as this pen starts glowing green, we're gonna hit the radiators. I just want it to be fully powered. I find that when the pens are fully
Yeah, well, I have
powered,
options.
they
I'll
hit
be
the
fine.
best of any time ever. And it's been charging since our last hit. I plugged it in right after our last hit. So Ninja, how's everything been going, by the way?
I'll do.
It's crazy. I think we're going on like a month almost. I feel like this is the third week. You're
As
you're
you
done with
fumble
Pizza
the idea
Land.
of what spell would
Next
work, you
week
just-
will be the 1 month
and
anniversary,
release
if
a
I'm
bolt
not
of lightning
mistaken.
up
It's
towards
so
it. It
weird to have
streaks in the front of
Ninja
its,
just like readily
chest and
available
shoulder
because I was
area.
about to say when
You see its
Ninja's
muscles
back,
tense and
we'll do
shake
the
from the sheer amount
radiators,
of
but
electricity that presses through
Ninja's
it.
already here.
Oh, it does not make that saving throw. Not with a 5. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Is it 6 or 8?
It's 8.
What does people in the chat collect? I'm out of curiosity because we're talking about collections. Like I said, I would love to do like vintage video games. One of my good friends, Neil knows him. Neil Shock. I'm talking about Shock here. One of our good friends, Shock.
Oh, really?
Those of you, if you're in
Oh,
the
well,
retro
that's awesome.
gaming
No, I've lost
community, you probably know Shock. He has
32 points of
upwards
damage.
of
Nice.
like 1,600 vintage cartridges.
As you release
He
the
has
torn electrical
one of the
energy,
most
it
complete
courses through the
sets
body and
of
ends up streaking
original
off into the
NES
snowy
games
sky
I've
behind
ever
the giant
seen.
from the upward
He
angle.
has boxed ones, like in the
shakes
state,
from
and he's in New
impact and
Jersey. He lives about 20
rights
minutes
itself
away
and
from
looks down
me.
at you with a really angry
He
face. You can see as it opens its
has
mouth,
the
it's kind of,
biggest personal collection
light blue
of
and kind of,
cartridge video
dark
games
teeth
of
on
anybody I know
its
in person.
beard-covered
Like
jaw.
anybody I actually know, and he's a very
Mist
good
and
friend of
steam
mine.
kind of
I
breath
actually have
mouth.
given
But not
him
a
things of
steam,
my
it's like a
collection
cold air itself
to
that seems
complete
emanate from it.
areas
It's
of his. Like he
pale,
had
whitish
every
blue
console
hair, kind of slightly
except
framed
like
in its
a
form. Up close
TurboGrafx
at its sheer
16,
size, this is
and I had a
very intimidating
perfectly
creature as it kind of just
mint
stares down, looming over you
working
now with smoke pouring out the
TurboGrafx.
shoulder where you
So I
impacted
told
the
him
lightning bolt.
one day.
Do you want to do any?
Yeah, I was like, you can have it to put in your collection, and one day if you want to buy it,
with a little,
you can just give me money. But we kind of like had some like weird agreement that I know he just loves it
Ooh, you
so much.
scary. You fight a long time.
We fight a long time. Oh my god.
All right, so
That was pretty
you go ahead
good.
and
We
take
fight a
10
long
inspiration
time.
die, which means
It
whenever you have
turned
to
green,
roll an attack
everybody.
roll or a saving
But yeah,
throw,
shock.
you can
Cra-
add
and he
a
had
D10
custom
to the
made
result you get if you don't
shelving.
think it's gonna make
You don't roll it
You
now.
don't roll
I
it
can
now.
show you guys a
You
picture.
have
I gotta
it
find it
reserved
on my
whenever you
phone,
want
but
to
he
use it.
sent it to me. It's like a 20 by 20 room, and the
He'll get
walls
attack of opportunity,
have
yes.
custom made
snuggle between his
shelving
legs and
for
maybe
all
he'll
the
forget
different
I'm
games,
there?
like Super Nintendo, Genesis, like every type of cartridge has just the right room to fit on a shelf. And he has like an entire wall or two covered from end to end, alphabetized. Some of them have the actual
Might anger
boxes, like some of them have the manuals and stuff
or
like
it might
that.
entice him.
But his goal was to get the entire collection. I think he's missing like 8. I think he's out of like, I think there's 700 and something unique NES titles. From what I remember, I could be wrong, but it's been a while. I feel like there's like 722 unique NES cartridges.
We did hear
Old
the
school
thing.
They sit here and
Nintendo
say
Entertainment
giant.
System.
Alright.
I think he's
Understood,
missing
like,
like
raw,
8.
it was an intruder.
And a lot of them
They're
he's
both
got
of them
duplicates
about
of, and a lot of them he's got manuals and boxes. Crazy
Yes,
amount,
they're both
crazy
32.
collection.
All right.
But Radiators Unite, Shane Barron, I saw Shane Barron jumped in. Noah Summers, we already said hi to. If I missed Jay, I am doing good. Exhausted from the hard labor, but good. Yeah, I don't really miss Pizza Land too much, though still working towards opening that ramen pop-up shop. So stay tuned. Yes, definitely keep us posted, Ninja. I feel the same way. Like, I don't know how you felt about Pizza Land, but I love the arcade. You guys know I always rave about the arcade. That's where I met Neil and many other people, Michelle, Marion Ravenwood. But when I stopped working there consistently nights, I was like, I miss it, but I also don't. Because I was there 3 nights a week, never got home before like 1 a.m. And I would always just be on like this very off schedule, like time-wise. I was like always exhausted half the week. That's probably why I'm such a night owl on top of every other reason. So I missed it because I missed the people, and like it was fun. But I also don't miss it because I actually get to sleep by like I just get to go to sleep when I want, put it that way. Because I still probably stay up way later than I should. But at least I'm like in my pajamas relaxing and not covered in grease and screaming at people till 1 in the morning.
With the DC there.
Radiators Unite, everybody.
So
We're
what,
hitting the Radiators. Ninja,
both kind of
Colvin,
reach and grab
Shane,
their faces, one of
Neil,
them just
whoever
kind of
else.
messed up, partially disintegrated hand, and falls back on its back foot, and both of them kind of look at the group in confusion. There definitely seems to be some sort of interference with their current actions based on this spell. There's a conflict within them.
We're
That's
also
much
at
I
the
can tell you
1
right now at the
hour
moment.
countdown till the
that is your
break.
action. Do you
We're
wanna
gonna
do
keep
anything
going
else?
beyond the break. But like the video if you haven't, everybody. I see people jumping in and out. If you're jumping in, just hit a like on the video. Help us out. If we hit the 50 likes, we do bonus time after this is over. But we have at least an hour until the break. And then we're going to do like another 20 minutes after that. We're also going to pour the 1 hour shot.
He can.
This is a very cold, as you can see, there's ice all over
might
this
not.
thing.
That's true. Your spell might work.
It is
Maybe you could
very,
work
very
I
cold.
shall go and
gonna do a shot.
protect Scanlan underneath the legs.
1 hour
of
countdown shot.
That giant.
So you move in to help kind of defend Scanlan.
So warm.
We have
You're so tiny. I love
shuriken, throwing knives, katanas, and the light props and swords from movies, and it's one of the only things my dad and I connect on. Did you see,
both of them
Noah?
seem to be kind of
I don't know if you can see it because it's
looking
behind my
around
chair.
themselves,
But
slightly
behind me
confused
is
and kind of
a
taking in
exact replica of a
some
Neo
sort of
Montoya,
strange
a Inigo
circumstance
Montoya sword. It is actually labeled.
I'm going to hold my
We did an
turn.
unboxing on the channel.
Okay.
I think it's
For
one of
Soul
1,000. One of 1,000. It is
Grok.
numbered and marked, and it came with like a mounting placard that I could put on the wall. But I have it just leaning against the wall behind me. I think it's directly behind my chair, so you can't see it. If you're interested, I'll roll back and I'll grab it and then stab it through the monitor. But it's funny, it comes up
Grok
because
confused.
Lauren,
Look at
one
each
of her
other
favorite movies of all time is The Princess Bride. So like a week or two ago, we watched Princess Bride. And I told her, she was like, do you mind watching Princess Bride? And I said, I love it. It's one of my favorite of all time. Which we are big fans of 80s, especially fantastical movies like that.
How much do I take for a superior?
And I was like, not only am I a fan of it, I have an Inigo Montoya sword in the other room. And I had to show her. And then we paused it on the scene. And I was like, we both were like, without knowing it, you would think Inigo Montoya's sword is silver for some reason. It's just the way he moves around and stuff, it appears like it's silver. But then when they freeze on it and you actually look, it's like gold. So, I have Inigo Montoya's sword.
Lyra.
I'm confused.
I have a D&D character
But I
based
do not
on
feel that
him.
I might throw up.
Inigo Montoya. I love Inigo Montoya. As you can see, I
I'm
wouldn't have
just
just
gonna
bought his
hold
sword.
My turn.
Okay.
Let me see if I can
See what
reach it.
happens.
Rolling back like
Constitution
this.
saving
Ready? We're
throw?
gonna see how
Oh,
far. I
good.
think I can get.
Oh, for the bark.
Oh, it's a 5.
She's going to
But
bark.
You
it's Constitution 5. It's a 10.
Here we are.
you covertly do your best to not reveal to the
This is
entire group
Inigo
that you
Montoya sword.
you make
You
a
could
little
say-
bit of greenish brown snow.
It's actually dusty. It's pretty dusty, but
It is the most adorable
this is
barking sound
Inigo
you guys have ever
Montoya
heard.
sword. It is very gold. Very fancy.
Combination
And
of
it
the
is
stress
not
and the
sharp,
smell.
but it
It's
is
been
pointy.
a harrowing
It is
experience
pointy,
for Lyra.
but it is not sharpened. So I was showing Lauren
At this
this
point
the
in
other day.
time, as it
Inigo
comes to
Montoya
the giant's
sword.
turn,
One
the
of
who's
my
kind of messed up,
More
looks like the other
favorite
and
props. I have a lot of props of stuff. I dig it.
puts the axe on his belt.
That
The other one
tis
also
a
puts the axe on
beautiful
the belt, and They
blade.
kind of glare at the rest of the group. And
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
say in giant.
Reminded me, I technically have a bunch of comics stored, a lot of signed Deadpools. That's another collection I got.
what do
I
you
have
think,
like
Giant is Grog?
thousands. I'm
Grog
not even
translates,
exaggerating.
essentially, they
Thousands
say,
of comic books.
"We'll take
I
you,
would
it's at your
probably
own
guess around 2,000 or 3,000
Don't
minimum.
take us. What's that?
All in plastic sleeves with backboards
Take
in
us as
storage
Grog,
boxes,
you
like
asked them
you know
take
your
us as in
typical
lead us or on their back.
rectangular comic book storage boxes that you see. They're all stored away, double
He's got a
bagged and
northern
protected and everything.
Take us as
But
lead us,
I
or
haven't
like
looked at them.
curious
I
on
probably
that.
haven't even looked at them in 20, 25 years.
They both kind of chuckle to
This was
themselves,
back,
and
like
they
me
just
and my
start
brother were big time
walking
collectors in the
Okay.
early
in towards the
to
camera.
mid 90s, going into the late 90s, and then I kind of stopped. My brother kept doing comics for a while. My brother was collecting comics well beyond college.
What lasts the whole day? Yeah, we just.
He actually got
It's
Jesse
spelled-
into
I
comics.
believe
Jesse
that
Dobby Reactions,
My
my
suggestion lasts
sister.
24 hours.
He got her into comic books.
Yes, oh, and very,
So
very,
it was
very
like I
important.
stopped. He
None
like Ray
of us
always
damage
was into the comic books.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
started
smart.
with him,
Anything else,
and Jesse
we're
kind of
fine, but
ended.
it
But
should
Jesse
either
doesn't even do it
any
anymore.
of us
I don't
damage
think he
its
collects them anymore.
Are they going to
I
fight
think he
with
kind of
us?
just goes online and reads them.
Grog?
I think he's part of like a club. Like I think there's like an online website where you pay money and you can literally go on and
Right,
read
right.
the comic books if you just don't
giant-
want
one of them
the
kinda looks over the
hard
shoulder as it's walking
copies.
into the camera, puts his hand on the top and kind of leans over. And
He told me he
his
went
voice-
to like one of
so
those
I'll take from this
places
point forward, it's
where you
translated
just
into
bring your
easier.
entire
Just like in
collection
Hunt for
and then you
Red
leave
Yeah,
it
basically.
leave it with them, and then they go like, "We'll give you X amount of dollars." And he said he just wanted to get rid of them and didn't really care. And he goes, it sounded fair, but it was like his like entire life's collection. Like he probably spent $10,000-$20,000 on these.
Yeah. And, I
And
say,
the guy was
no,
like,
no,
I think he got like
no, no.
$2,000
My
bucks.
cat is your friend.
And he was like, I just didn't want to think about it. It was like he was just in that kind of mood where he's
As you
like,
say
I just
that,
want
he
to
walks
be done
inside,
with it.
The one that you
It's like
partially
one of those
disintegrated
things
earlier
like
steps out and goes,
it'll be a nice chunk of money in my hand and I will get rid of this massive collection because it was like
It's
boxes and boxes and boxes.
Well,
So it took up a lot of
air
room
looks like
too.
liquid and
It was
then
like the storage
into
and,
almost
and
like
the
crystalline
just
ice
the
taste.
hanging over your head, having to deal with it.
It's just rude. He smells so much like feet.
But Ray no longer. He told me, he's like, that's it. I have no more comic books. I almost was like, I in my head, I was like, if you had told me, maybe I would have bought them, and I would have done it. But then I'm like, I would have just thrown them in a closet myself. It's like I never have time to do the things I already need to do. So I'm like, if I bought his comics, I probably could double my money if I took the time to like go through them all and sell them. But like, I'm like.
All right.
I get it. I don't have the time. It's like, who has the time? You can't do everything. Sometimes you just gotta like pack it up,
You kind of sit down and
call it
manage
a day.
your wounds. You tend to your adrenaline as it slowly wears off, and suddenly the pain starts.
Like, do you want to spend
you've taken
half of your
you guys
life
can use as many hit dice as you want.
getting
to
top dollar for all your collectibles, or would you rather just get a chunk of money and go enjoy life? Sometimes I guess it's better to just go out and enjoy life.
Yes.
How many hit points do I have?
You haven't taken damage up to this point.
But I haven't. Have they increased?
That's true. You
Look
leveled
at
up on the
Sam's
last one.
face.
So with the short rest, I'll say go ahead and roll an additional for Bard. I think it's a D8, correct?
I don't know.
What's your hit dice number?
D8. Sam is getting D8.
What's your Constitution?
D8.
15 plus 2.
All right, so go ahead and roll a D8 and add +2 to it.
4.
Sweet.
All right, so you add 4 hit points to your total.
D8. He rolls a 2.
Welcome to
Damn
level
it.
11,
God damn it. I hate it. That was such a low roll. A D8, he rolls a 2. I mean, it doubled at least.
Level spell.
He could have got a 10. It could have been 10 instead it's a 4. Miserable.
I got it already. I'm ready to rock.
You got
Do you have
Good
Guts
choice.
Dragon Slayer? I do not know what that is,
You
but I
guys,
do not have that if that is
take the
directed
next,
towards me,
half
my
an hour or
friend.
so to rest up.
That is dope.
You still use your disintegration.
And the
you
cave
do a
art
full
from the
night's rest to get
first
that back.
Predator movie. I have the sword from
Yeah,
the
the
movie
cave.
Heavy
It's
Metal,
six-
the
it's six
original
spell
one.
levels.
It's
6
a
spell levels
beauty.
you can get
Do
back
you
on
have
short
Guts
Short
Dragons?
rest,
I
recover
don't
6
think
spell levels,
38
grab
is
arcane
too
recovery.
many.
That's right, so yes,
LOL.
you can.
I have been told I have too many swords. I don't think 38 is that many. When Lauren came over to my house the other day, I have throwing knives everywhere. Not just throwing knives. I have like prop knives. Like I have an Inigo Montoya sword. Under, or not really under, to the side of my bed, but kind of underneath, is an exact sharpened replica of Rambo's knife from First Blood,
that was King Murloc, I
like
think,
sharpened,
wasn't it?
like gigantic
Yeah.
knife
The
from
Dirk
First
Arc
Blood,
you
is
fought
right next to my bed. Then in the corner I have like wooden tiki axes, like hardened. They're wooden, but they're like hardened, sharpened axes. And then all around my room, any which way you go, is like throwing knives of some sort, mounted or laying on something. Like, because I would collect knives. I just like blades. Nothing like, not necessarily swords, even though like I guess. Like, as you can see, I have Inigo Montoya's, but more so I like knives. I like things that are like this big or smaller. I like things where you can like conceal
I'm gonna go ahead and have
easily, and I loved throwing knives. I was really big into throwing knives for a while. I had like targets in the basement. I was like actually like learning how to properly throw them with accuracy. So all over my room are sheaths with throwing knives.
Disadvantage.
And Lauren came over and was like, should I be afraid that you have like 50 knives all over your room? And I'm like, no, I literally strategically place them around my room in case someone like ever breaks in. Like, it's probably like a 1 in a million chance. But if anyone breaks in my house and I can't get to like my guns or anything like that, anywhere in my room I go is like knives. And I know how to throw them pretty accurately. So I was like, that is like, I just always have an out or an escape plan. I'm just gonna wildly attack people with knives in my room if they come in. They'll be like, some guy broke into Jay's house and got stabbed 57 times.
Great, awesome. So, as Grog finishes translating to the giants kind of chuckled to himself, and the other one says down to him,
Sadly, no. Though I have
There's no help here.
Ichigo's sword from the
killed our
last season
people
of Bleach.
alive because
Ninja,
of
I'm sure you know this. But I've been watching Bleach. I am already into season 2, and I find it quite amazing. It is definitely the type of show where I could see weapons becoming like a big thing, collectible wise.
You guys are currently you took a rest inside the cavern as
What
you
is
just
it?
entered the mountain.
Umbacto
At this point, as you guys
or
step
something
up,
like that?
The giants are kind of leading you further into the cavern.
Umpacto.
May I talk to him as well?
I haven't watched it in like a month or two because I watched so many episodes.
I have telekinesis.
I watched
so can I
like
speak to one of
4
them?
months of episodes in a row.
Oh,
I think it's like your
I have awakened
Umpacto.
mind.
Oh, right.
I can speak.
Tatawati
you can speak
Kuno.
directly to
Oh no,
them.
that's from Ranma.
Oh, that's really handy.
Tatawaki
People
Kuno.
have been persecuted for so long, and you've lost so many of your
Mary
your-
Elizabeth
the female
McGlynn
version
just
of
has a
you.
way about her
Your children.
where she is like perfect, I feel like, for this
You
kind
want
of
to
world
live
of
as
voice
slaves.
acting.
You want
I found like swords
Yes,
and
but-
daggers,
So to live as a slave is better
but I'm
than
good with an axe, so
No,
I
no.
dig axes too. Like as I said, I have throwing axes in my room.
your servitude.
Only a couple
To end
though.
it
I have more throwing. I probably have 20 to 30
one.
throwing knives, like weighted throwing knives.
They cold as ice.
Anywhere from like
We'll
a $20 set of 3 that were just like for practicing to like a $300 single throwing knife that's like perfectly weighted and beautiful looking kind of thing. Like it's more like aesthetically pleasing, and also like you ever see like they have like this is weighted by NASA engineers, and it's probably like just as good as any other weighted thing, but it's like this is the best of the best. I have one throwing knife that's like several $100s and is like the greatest throwing knife ever.
The ceiling. You can see now.
It's to the and honestly it does really play a factor. Like
Yes,
that
the whole
knife,
light
you can
is
almost
blazing
not know what you're doing.
And
There
I
are
passed
throwing
by
knives that
my
are so
dark
perfectly
dragon
weighted
stuff.
All right, so
that you
between
can almost
now the
not
fire
even
that
know
is
what you're
now
doing and
burning
almost hit the
with
target. Not the target, but
warhammer and your
like
light spell, you
the
can see as you
the
enter
hard
falling
the
giants.
first thing you want to
There
learn
are
is getting the
definitely
knife to
remnants
stick, like
of
to learn
a
the
village
rotations
that was
to get it to stick. Then you
designed
learn
on
on
the scale
accuracy.
of these giants.
But
and while many of these
certain
structures
knives,
still
if you buy
stand,
like
it is
expensive
eerily
throwing
quiet
knives,
as you step inside.
you don't even need to
As you begin
really
to step further into the center
like
of this cavern, you
it's
see many
definitely
structures
it's
that have
like
been smashed
it's
and
like
destroyed.
driving
There
a
is
stick
layer
shift car
of ice
that has a
and
real easy
snow
clutch.
that has been carried
Like
in
if
from
you
various
learn on a
winds,
stick shift that has a
which
nice
is the general temperature of
easy
this room.
clutch,
And the room is
you'll be like, oh my god, this is the
extremely
easiest thing
cold.
ever. But if
With
you
the
learn
light
on like
you
a
have,
piece of
everyone's breath is
crap,
very clearly visible
you'll
in each
stall out
puff
500 times.
into the
It's
air
like that
around
with
you, and
throwing
I
knives,
swear
I feel
a few
like.
pockets in here, it's so cold you can
The
hear
better the
moisture from
blade,
your breath
the
coalesce
easier
and then shatter
the
on the
training.
ground. You all bundle up even tighter with your various furs and winter
I snuggle
clothing.
very close to Trinket.
Trinket snuggles very close to you because Trinket, while made for this type of temperature, is still uncomfortably cold even at this point.
Snuggling next to Trinket.
did you
Like
divide or
and
give me some
subscribe,
sort of-
everybody. We
I
have
gave
not
him my
even
stove,
hit the
but
halfway
it's
mark yet.
so
What
much
is
faster.
this
It's
madness?
Wow, I feel
This is
so
absolute
warm and cuddly.
ridiculous.
Don't brag about it.
Well, no, I'm
ness.
just
Oh my
saying.
gosh, my mom told me never bring every. What's
50
it say?
experience.
But,
Who is number
before
one
she
right
died,
now?
she told me
Colvin is
never-
number
If
one.
you can't bring one for everybody, don't bring
Who's
any.
number
So just be
two?
quiet.
I feel like a lot of
Okay,
people
I'm
are
sorry.
talking in
I
the
was
chat.
just distracted because
Michael
we're in a dire
and Vero's
situation,
got to be 2
and I
and
miss the
3.
love of
Oh no,
my
Holly
mom.
Mac is number 3.
Gosh.
I'm sure you can't
Holly Mac
identify
number
with
3.
her.
Jay, I'm doing.
No,
I read all
told
that.
you- I was just thinking the
I have
other
a
day,
decent but
just outside
small
the
collection
cabinet,
of
Aldo was
comics,
here.
Magic the Gathering,
Yes, did I tell
some
you
OG
about
Pokemon
little-
cards.
He sounds-
My
he's not
biggest thing
like
is
Taylor.
I have
And-
literally
and
Magic the
dismissiveness.
Gathering, comic
That's okay.
books, baseball cards. Star Wars
Well,
is my biggest collection
We
of
have
any.
something in common then, and thank you for
I have
your
a
stone
very
of
large
warmth or
collection of like
whatever it
retro
was.
video games,
I'll just call it
Disney related stuff. But people are probably saying before, Michael, right now, obviously I'm assuming Magic the Gathering is one of the most collectible. Is Lorcana, since you know this world better than me, is Lorcana
Getting past 30.
got like a strong following? Because that being as that's Disney, they united. That's like what Final Fantasy is to me. They united my love of Magic the Gathering and card collecting with Final Fantasy, which is like one of my favorite franchise video games of all time. That's kind of what Lorcana is, I guess. It's like Disney with card collecting and Magic style play. But I don't want to get in. There's so many times. Like I got into that Marvel game. It was called like Power Surge, or I think it was back in the day. I got into Power Surge, and I remember buying so many like booster packs and decks and stuff like that, and it kind of just like vanished into the abyss, and no one ever played it. I invested. I remember. In my closet, Mike, just this is crazy. In my closet the other day, I found sealed boxes of Marvel Power Surge, the card game
decided they
from,
wanted to
it
live
has
here
to be
instead.
like the late
You
90s
see
or
visions
sometime in
of
the
it
90s. I have
stalking through the
the
tunnels, carving its
original
way through the ice
starter
and
set and
ambushing
the expansion
this,
set.
frost giant
Still
village. You
sealed
see visions of it
boxes
tearing
of the cards,
families up
unopened
and,
packs. I don't even
freezing
know if it's
them in
worth
the
money.
spot.
It's probably not worth
which
crap.
is interesting because
But I
you
have
see
it because I would
these
buy
giants
stuff.
seem
Like I would
pretty
buy
well
like
adapted to
I would always
ice
buy
and
like
cold
2 or
weather.
3 of
It seems
everything,
it's
and
less
I'd like
about
open
freezing
one
them physically
and then
more than
keep
locking
one
them in
sealed.
place.
And
as
I
you
was
see
doing
these
this
visions,
since I
you
was
begin
like
to
a
step further
kid.
into this village,
And now I just
you
have
can
an
see
attic
there
full
are
of
spires,
cards and
large
stuff.
spires of crystallized ice, and loosely within the shadows of the ice, you can see what looks like the suffocated forms. of
Lorcana
frost
is
giants
good
that are
for the
locked in that
hardcore
position
fans,
for
but Disney doesn't have many of
feet
those at the
of
moment.
ice.
Pokemon
You see
is the current pain.
most of this
See,
village
I like the
brought
collectability
to
of
its knees,
Pokemon,
destroyed, murdered,
but I
beaten,
feel like
or imprisoned.
I have no attachment to Pokemon
these
over
two
anything else. I
essentially
just
chosen
like,
to survive
I want to collect what,
and
like, I want to be
given
like
the
involved
order
in the
to
biggest
bring
collectible thing.
what this creature wants.
Like, it's like, to me, it's not even like bandwagon jumping. I just
get
don't
this
want to collect
sense of-
something
of
that no one cares about, because then it's
sadness
almost
and
like,
fear,
at a
but
point, what is the
also a
point
sense
of
of
collecting? Unless it is
kind of,
solely because
a
you
lack of
just
any other
enjoy it
option.
and it's for your
I
own
wish we
personal.
could release
I
it
always like to
into
collect something that is like an investment. To me, collecting, even back when I was a kid, collecting was always an investment. I looked at it as like, I enjoy this thing, but this thing also will probably
the dragon.
at least
No, I
stay
know,
the
but
same
just
or
maybe
increase
they
in
could
value
do
over
have
time.
some
So
burial
I was
ritual
always
or
like,
anything that you would
I grew
like
up
to,
poor, so I was
or
looking
do
at it
these
like,
stand as
this is
a
a way to
remembrance
enjoy
of
my
people?
money and buy things I like, but
There is
also
a moment
like
where it
invest
seems
in
almost
something
like
and
it's
have
going to answer, and
money
then
in the
mind
future.
closes off
Nowadays,
suddenly.
it's
There
not
is a
quite the same. Now I just want to collect
defensiveness,
something
and these entities,
because of the
you
love
get
of
the
collecting.
sense that
But
even this tenuous relationship you built with them,
I don't care if
is
it's an
based
expensive
purely on
hobby,
arcane
because in my
persuasion,
mind, the more expensive the hobby,
and
the more
you pry,
lucrative the
more you begin to
investment.
test the boundaries of what
That's how
you've
I
done.
look at it.
And pick
Like
and
I
choose
was
your
almost
words
gonna
very
go back
carefully.
into collecting comics for a while.
just-
I wanted to like I think I talked to you guys about it.
Freezes
I
instantly
wanted to
on
go
her
back into
face.
like high-end comics, like buy
Entire
like
flame.
key issues, really good condition key issues of comics, like
you
the
continue to
first
walk,
appearance of Incredible
you can
Hulk,
see the center of this
which is like
village
thousands of dollars,
completely
but like buy a
intact.
really nice
a lot of
graded
the
copy and then
wood
keep
and
it as
the
like an
dried
investment,
brush
like have
and
it
the
on display,
furs
but
and
also
thick leathers
instead
that
of like
these
putting
giants
money in a
gathered and
bank,
constructed
it's
their
like you're
civilization
investing
out of
in
is
the
all
comic, but you also have like this
shattered
awesome
and rendered to the floor and then
centerpiece
frozen
in your
over,
house, collectible.
left in this weird picture.
That's what I want, something like that.
Almost like a tapestry, a frozen moment in time of utter desolation. Then I actually want you all to roll a perception check if you could.
Roll for perception, everybody. Hey, how's you, Jay? Sean M. You must be psychic. Because I literally
20.
just looked, go back and rewind right before I said hi to Sean M. I looked down at the shot glass and I'm like, oh, I never took the hour countdown shot. And I was
So,
going to
as
say,
you guys are
anybody
walking
new in
towards
the
Scanlan,
chat,
you
because
notice
we
that
never
there
took the
is,
hour countdown
just
shot.
outside of the
There's
the light
roughly
perception,
40 minutes
stepping
left to the
forward.
break. 40 minutes left to the
A lot
break,
of the
and then we
level
got
has been
about
kind of
20
pushed
minutes
and
after
coalesced
that.
into a
So we're
central,
at about the new hour.
monolith,
Oh, and
almost
there
like
goes all the
a
vodka.
25, 30
We're at
foot
about the hour countdown,
sculpture
the
of
new hour
chaos.
countdown,
All
if you
of
count
these things
even
are
after the
matted
break.
together with
So
what looks like
to the
mud
great Sean M,
and,
Sean M,
refuse, and
we all love you over here.
as
It
you
wouldn't
guys
be
begin to
Friday
notice this
night without
too,
Ireland
you
joining us.
catch
Cheers
the
to
framing
Sean.
of the light on it, and it seems to be built into almost an altar or some sort of a large sculpture of worship of a winged dragon creature that is currently in the process of kind of swooping down. You get the sensation that
And
this was
we have a
built as
winged dragon creature.
essentially a place
And
of offering to
Dwarven
this
Forge Radiator Fund,
white dragon and hopefully
Ninja
a
with a
symbol
$2
to keep themselves alive
$2
and to kind of prove
super
their,
chat
their fealty to
is
this
gonna get another
creature's
shot.
entity.
Everybody,
Can I have a
Ninja
spell
Master
called
with the
Legend?
$2 Ninja.
Can I cast
Ninja,
that
do you want a
on
shot?
White
I'm gonna pour it
Dragon,
anyway.
just to see if-
But do you want a shot or hit the radiators, Ninja? It's your call. We did just do a shot,
The spell brings to your
So,
mind a brief
it's up to
summary
you.
of
I could do
significant
more.
lore about the thing you named.
but
Current tales, forgotten stories.
there's a
secret word that's never been
fresh,
widely known.
icy, cold
If it's
shot.
not of legendary importance,
Cheers
it's
from
gained
Ireland.
information. So what I think
Cheers
this
from
is a
Colvin and
legendary
Vero G.
This-
Sean, if you
so
didn't know,
as
if you
take a
didn't
moment
notice
to-
already, there
everyone
are
stops at the
crowns
door,
next to
notice that
names.
Lyra sitting
We have a
there
1, 2, and a 3, and
muttering
it
to
is the
herself and putting her
most
fingers to the air, and you can see
involved
small,
in the chat. Whoever's the
arcane
most
sickles begin
involved
to
in the
flash
chat
the air as she places
gets
her
a
hands,
ranking of 1,
at
2,
which
and
point her
3.
eyes glaze
So
over
the
with
more
this
you
kind of
talk,
shimmering gold
the
colored
higher
beams
you
into her
rank.
trance.
if you're interested.
no.
But Ninja Master, we could either have another shot or we could do the
archetype
radiators.
is
I prefer the smoke,
image
but
of
both is
darkness.
great. We'll hit the radiators,
struggle to
and then
push,
I'll also
struggle to
do
exist,
that
the struggle
shot,
to
another shot for Ninja as
survive,
well. But
and then suddenly
Ninja,
light.
we're
You
uniting
see
with the
the
radiators,
cracking
everybody.
of
Everybody,
something
radiators
releasing,
unite.
And from there, pulling forth from this singular egg, the only one left of its clutch, a white dragon wormling pulling itself out of the egg. This you immediately sense is the dragon that now resides
So everybody,
within
I prefer this. All
mountain.
right, I read that already.
You begin to see flashes in time.
Radiators
of it.
unite. Everybody,
Strong
like the video
survive
if you
and
have
frozen
not.
tundra to the north.
And we
Just
are about
trying
to
escape
possibly attack a
poachers,
dragon and
individuals
eat
trying
its
to
soul.
hunt it,
Cheers.
Whether to protect their own villages or to use its physical body parts as some sort of sail. And you get the sense at one point it was already the target of some contract that failed. And for a brief second, you see a flash of a frozen cavern recently, and a few individuals locked in an icy prison, bitten down on and shattered before it cuts to black again.
Michael, I know you
see
probably said it
moments of this
earlier.
dragon
When is
grow,
RPG Day?
And with each
Because honestly, I'm
stage in
interested.
its physical transformation towards becoming a full-fledged adult dragon.
And Michael,
there is
what-
just spite.
Well,
There is
let me
anger,
find out
there
when
is
RPG
ego.
Day is first.
There is
Because that might answer my next
severe
question.
sense of self-importance, a lust for
Michael, have you also? Do you ever
others
dabble
to
with steakhouses,
bow
Michael?
before, serve,
I was
or
watching
feed.
a show the other day on
This-
greatest steakhouses
you've
in New
heard
York
many
City,
things about
and
dragons,
Michael
and
came
you
to
hear
mind because
these great
Michael lives
intelligence
near.
and
Well, he lives in
articulate
New York.
entities that even good or evil themselves.
But there was like all these steakhouses. I'm
have
like, oh my god, I'm
this-
so
this
hungry. I want all of
extremely,
it.
Intelligent presence. This dragon is
June
far more feral and bestial than
21st,
anything you've read about.
RPG
It has
Day.
an intelligence,
And when
but it seems
does
to not be concerned
Final
with
Fantasy drop?
the intricacies of
Isn't Final
conversation
Fantasy
as much
card
as it
game
is
like
to
next
bend
week?
everything
I
to
feel
its
like it's
will
like
and to
June
give to
6th.
me.
Which
And
would
the one
mean it's
thing
on
that
like a
touches your mind
Friday
before
or
the spell
something.
ends
Like I could be
is
totally
the name
wrong.
that finally came
Free
upon
RPG
itself.
Day is
The
Saturday,
name that
June
heard
21st.
whispered
Lurking
as
and
one of its
listening, playing
would-be hunters
UD Sagas.
suddenly-
Does that say UD? Or UO Sagas?
dragon.
What is UO Sagas?
the name
I'm sure I know what it is. I really feel like playing old school
His name is
Super
Rhyme Thing.
Nintendo game.
He's a beatbox.
Somebody, I think it was
the
Jessie,
two
my sister Jessie,
cross-eyed
W
stop
Reactions.
their
She
walk
sent me
their
a video
turn.
the other day of
Right.
the new theme park in Universal, and it
nod
had
and
super.
look up
I
to
don't
the
know if
giant
this is
structure they
correct,
constructed.
but they were saying it's
Can I
literally
make a
called
history
Super
too? If I
Nintendo
know anything
World.
in the
I don't
game
know
that
if it was
has the name
Nintendo
Rhyme
World,
Thing?
and they just said
yeah,
Super
I think so.
Nintendo World, but then it was like Donkey
it's a
Kong
21.
Country and,
Okay.
and Mario Kart
the
and all that,
Rhyme Thing
which all
Gather
originated
is the name
in
of the dragon
Super
drop
Nintendo.
that-
But then I'm like, they have
there's
also
another
been
dragon
in
for
every
you.
other console
Make
of
a link to the
Nintendo,
work
so.
bucket.
I was like, it very easily might not be, but they were saying the number one ride in the new park was the Donkey Kong mine cart,
This dragon has
which
the name Rhyme
was
Thing.
probably one
And,
of the coolest
it-
levels in
because
gaming
in a lot
when
of
I was
dragons,
growing up,
they
so I could
evolve
totally see
and
that.
begin to really create a layer.
Old game Ultima
They
Online. I figured, yes,
really make themselves known
Shane, one of my
publicly,
good
and
friends,
really draw the fear out
was
once they feel they're in a
obsessed with
comfortable
Ultima
position. You feel
Online.
this dragon is
When
just
I
starting
saw
to
it, I
get to
just
the
didn't
point
even
where
know if that was still
it's eager
around.
to
New server
drive
just started
fear into the
last
local
week.
populace.
Oh, okay.
From your history
Yeah,
check,
one of my
you do
friends
know that there is
sold.
somewhere in the
He
books
was
you've
in
gone
it.
through,
He was like a very
similar, like,
skilled
contract.
gamer,
Nothing Rhyme
very
Thing
big in
related, but
World
there
of
was a white
Warcraft, stuff
dragon
like
that was
that.
supposedly hunted
And I
about,
remember he sold his Ultima Online
8-9
character for like
months back.
thousands of dollars.
and
He was like
the team never returned.
super
And you begin to
high
think,
leveled. I don't know. I
wait,
never played
so if the
Ultima.
team
I played
really
World of
practiced people
Warcraft
never returned
a
from
great
this
deal,
contract.
but I never played Ultima.
And then we were sent on this.
And I
as
remember
an
he was like,
entry-level-
I'm selling my character, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like $3,000 he
I
got
have a
for his
suspicion that maybe
character on Ultima.
the guild didn't want us to succeed, and I don't want to panic anybody. It's
Your
just,
guild?
you know, I just don't think.
I'll be spending
Vanessa-
free RPG Day at 20-sided store in
Well,
Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
No,
And I'll
I
be
mean,
spending
everyone seems to
free.
be good.
Michael,
I make a
I'm
very
assuming
good
you're
soup,
working.
And I help people with their laundry
I'm
sometimes.
putting that in,
and-
Michael. I want to see.
No,
I want to
I
literally
don't
see
remember.
exactly
I just
from
like
my
to
seat
help.
where that how far that is.
I was just wondering.
20-sided sword.
Well, they just don't
20
send me anywhere. Just it's a paperwork
sided
thing.
store.
So,
If you don't mind my asking, because I do respect you so
It
much.
is exactly
how did
27 miles.
your captainship of our crew
And
come about?
let's see.
if you
Well, it
don't
is
mind
also.
I got a
well,
missive. I got a scroll in my room.
Right
At
now-
my first assignment. I mean,
and
it's
right
very
now is
exciting to
not
me,
like
and they
right
haven't
now
paid
is still
attention
kind of
to me,
traffic
and
time
very
because
nice
it's a
to me, but
Friday
Vanessa's-
and it's 7
she's-
o'clock.
she just
Rush
has
hour
this,
traffic is
and,
still going on. It says I could do it in
I've been
under an
asking
hour
for so long.
with
And
traffic.
finally I got my
So if I
appointment,
was to leave right now,
I was hoping
it says I
Alvin
can make it to
but he
Michael's
isn't, and that's
gaming
fine.
store
That'll
in
be the next
1
one, but
hour.
There may not be a
with
next one, guys.
traffic.
That's just what I'm saying.
If I
That's what
waited
I'm
till
saying.
like a normal time to travel that wouldn't have like a ridiculous amount, I could probably do it in like 45 minutes.
No, Aldor. I'm here with
So that's-
Aldor.
that's
Remember? And
interesting.
Yeah, I got admitted to the guild because...
If you think that we've been sent on some sort of suicide mission,
Oh, that's the way you put it there.
well, I'm a master of words. What
Baldur's
should we
Gate
abandon all hope
GameCube
and just
was
flee? I mean, is that what you're
sweet.
suggesting as our leader?
I never played any of the
Or should
Baldur's
we carry it
Gates.
through and prove everyone
I
wrong?
also
I mean, if we abandon
GameCube
this
was
quest,
around when I
listen, we're
stopped
never-
playing video
I can get
games.
kicked out of the guild,
I feel like
for
when
one.
we've
I'm
talked about
really
this
a
before.
very bad person.
When GameCube came out, I feel like I just had my first girlfriend, and I remember my brother and me would always
not
get
good.
consoles together. So it was convenient because we both would work jobs,
exactly what,
and then we'd pool our money together, and we'd get like
You know
one
what?
Super
Retrace your
Nintendo.
steps.
There you go.
We'd get like one, say, like I think I bought Sega and he bought Super Nintendo. So whenever we wanted to trade, we'd just be like, hey, you want to switch consoles? And then like I got
two, you guys
Xbox
are
and
on
he
this
got
essentially
PlayStation.
as
So if we
a,
wanted to
trial
switch
basis
consoles, we
to
would switch
prevent
consoles.
being
But if
arrested
like
and put on
Final
trial
Fantasy came
for
out for
breaking the laws of
PlayStation and
the
I had the
game,
Xbox,
hunting,
I had to
hunting,
like
hunting,
wait
or
till he
using
had
weapons like
fully
kill,
exhausted
which are the
himself.
field rules and the
I would watch, like
which means if
he
you
would
were to
play.
use it
I
to
mean,
not
obviously
succeed
we
in
would just kind of like hang out and eat
you
junk
would
food.
probably
And
be put on trial
in an
and see the
RPG,
difference.
you kind of are like, you know,
very good at
you could
avoiding-
kind of play
I
together
know
or just
quite
trade
well.
on and off. So I remember when like big
the
games
hope
would
is
come
that we
out where it
wouldn't
was like
actually
you were
break
going to
the
be
contract
very
in the first
invested.
place.
We would
That's-
play together.
I mean, that's what we're here
Like
for.
it'd be like
Listen,
1 hour on, 1 hour off, or 2 hour. We would just figure up a time. Like you're on for 2 hours, and like it's the luck of the draw. Whether your 2 hours is boring at 2 hours, or your 2 hours is like boss battles.
I completely understand.
And then if you
but I
weren't
mean,
capable
I
of
will-
defeating the
I will
boss,
give
eventually
up
you'd
time.
pass it
Not that I'm all
on.
about
And we would
words,
just
but
do that all
I'm
the time.
serious. Like, that's why
I remember
I'm
like
here. My
Final Fantasy
motivation is not
VII,
to save my
we would just
ass.
pass it
My
off. And a lot of
motivation is
times
not
my
to get
brother,
into this
like my
bloody
brother would
guild.
use his time to like do the thing where you would have to get like the, I can't remember what you would call it, but there was some sort of like DNA type thing that you would build different abilities with or something. It's been so long, I honestly can't even remember. And then in Final Fantasy 8 or 9, they had that card game that's actually going to be in the card game. People told me the card game, I think it's Final Fantasy
Go. Actually, well,
8?
Rob could, or
It
someone,
might
could
be
someone
9,
ask
where the
Ace
card
and
game
Gary
came
if we're
out.
there, or
And my
for
brother would
further
literally
travel?
just spend hours playing that card
As
game.
Rob mentions this, you guys have moved past most of the village and you've gone towards the back of this large chamber, and you do see what appears to be a tunnel that ascends upwards deeper into the mountain proper.
Sounds like
See that
great
again?
times. I worked by
but
Hooters.
maybe I'll stop.
I work by Hooters. Not the store I worked
the
at,
entrance
but my
is entirely
preferred
frozen.
game
There's a
store.
wall of solid
Currently been
ice
playing a lot of World of
between
Warcraft.
yourselves
I've been seeing it.
and
Did
the
like something
continuation
new
of this
come out
tunnel.
World of
It's hard to see
Warcraft
how
related? Because I've been seeing a
hard to
lot
see
of
how
my
thick it
friends
is
when I
because,
pop on Discord.
Rogue
Like
rabbit.
all my friends that are big with World of
as you guys step
Warcraft,
up,
you know, they
Rock
take
runs
breaks.
ahead of the rest
But
of
I
the
notice
giants
all of
and
them
goes
recently have
as
all
hard as
been
you can
on.
towards this.
So like usually when they're all on, there's something big
So
going
swing with
on.
the axe towards the ice.
Like I'll go on
ahead
Discord and
make
every
an
name
attack
will
roll
be
with
like
it.
World of
hammer,
Warcraft,
which I
World of
believe
Warcraft, and
is
they're
better
people
than
like I know
Yes,
have played it my whole
has
life.
giant
Like I'm talking,
flaming
I'm
warhammer from-
43.
I feel like
One of
every
my
guy's
best friends is
betraying me.
45.
Let's turn it
My
around.
brother's age. My brother's 45.
No, I'm gonna
One of my
curse
best
you.
friends is his
Turn
age.
around, shake.
Literally
shake
introduced me to World of
shake.
Warcraft when it first came out in like the early 2000s,
Um,
if that was correct.
Plus what?
Had to be
Plus
over
9?
20
9.
years
That'll
ago.
definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage for
Introduced
that.
me to World of Warcraft,
Okay.
and he was already
go.
highly ranked DPS guild, and he introduced me to it. He to this day, 45 years old, still grinding away. He told me he plays easily 20 to 40 hours a week,
10 damage,
every week
including the fire damage.
since
Plus
we
yes,
were like
right?
Plus 1d6 fire damage.
in our early 20s,
13.
maybe
13
not
damage.
even, maybe our teens.
The,
I can't remember
streaks
exactly.
through
He
the
might have been
light,
like 19,
kind
20
of,
years old when
causing
he
this
started.
interesting shifting
Possibly.
of the
However
around it.
far
As it
back
smacks
you could
the ice,
go
this resounding
to do World of
thwack sound,
Warcraft.
The ice
And he,
shakes
to this
shimmers, a
day,
giant crack forms
20
up
to
the
40
front
hours
of
a
it,
week, he
and you
does
can see as he
every
pulls it
daily
out,
quest
the
and
wall
whatever
itself
weekly
seems
quest,
to have
anything you
largely
could do in that
crumbled
game,
in a small space
he
there
does.
and looks very
Updates,
fragile.
He does, and he's
Left-handed
very
combo.
good.
I can make an attempt.
And he's
yes.
always a priest or a
I'm going to
mage,
walk over and
which I
start
always,
the
it was
shadow
always my
position
two
and see if I
least
can find the
favorite.
weak point in the
He
wall.
was always a
Okay,
priest
go
or a
ahead and
mage, and I was like, oh my god, they're like, to me they were always, I hate
7.
being like an assist,
All right.
because mainly because
all
I'm
out
not
my
good
system
enough.
now.
That's right.
I know it
Ice
takes a
wall
great
itself
amount
is
of
not a
skill
very-
for a lot of these things. I mean, every position takes a lot
Not a
of skill.
specific architectural
but
structure. It is made of.
I never wanted to
some
be a
sort of
mage or a
blasting
priest.
Of ice that
And
froze
he's
the air
both,
in that way.
and
so it
very
doesn't
good
have
at
any
both.
real geometric positioning. Even, but the ice structure itself, you're unable to really make.
I
out
wasn't
what
really
the
big
point
into the
output
raiding and
the
gilding and
space
stuff
of
like that.
input grog.
But back in the
Well,
day,
that's
from what I know, people
one
might
of
know
the-
what I'm talking about. There was like a guild
basketball
called DPS,
Go over to the very
and it was
center
like
of the
the
track.
top-rated guild or one of the top-rated guilds. And this kid I'm talking about was
Save the fire.
in the like starting lineup of that guild
So,
for
is that okay?
priest and
Yeah,
mage,
I
I
mean,
think,
I'm the
like
leader.
for
I'm
that
going to
position
say I'm going to-
specifically.
That-
She said firebolt. I backed away.
firebolt.
And they would try to
And
grind
that
with
is,
me. Like I'd be like, I want to
1d8 fire
try to
damage.
get
It's a
this
7.
piece of
7 fire
armor,
damage.
All right.
and
well,
he would
go
just
ahead and, roll to see if you hit
rip
it.
through a
Roll
dungeon,
and add your
and like I would just kind of
fire.
like tag along. So he'd always like help me through stuff. But then whenever I like, they could never have me part
So
of
that is 22,
like a
22.
raid because I just
Definitely
wasn't
hit some
skilled
damage.
enough. They were
Seven fire damage, you said?
way
Oh, it's
too
3d10
skilled
fire.
for
Sorry,
me.
I
Like
got
I
it
was
on my
just a
level.
huge detriment.
Which is 7,
Hooters
5,
is
7,
demeaning
19.
to women.
No, no, no,
I'm
19.
opening a
So,
franchise in Ireland.
As you,
Is there
you know,
not,
putting the
Sean?
book into your-
Is
or
there
your
no
strap on one
Hooters
side,
in
the book's kind of under your
Ireland?
shoulder.
I feel like-
Bring your hand out.
I feel
and
like there should
draw
definitely
your
be a Hooters in
hand with
Ireland.
The force of
I
the
feel like
blast
that
of
is
fireball
criminal
coming forward as it
act
smacks into
to
the
not
section
happen.
where
If
Grog
you
has
also
slammed the
look it
hammer.
up, Sean M, I
It
was
bursts as a flash
about a
of arcane
month ago I
reddish,
saw all this.
fiery energy,
There's a
and
place
the
called the
wall
Tilted
itself
Kilt
shatters inward.
that is
It starts
like a
falling and crumbling nearby. Now, this tall
upper
wall,
scale
which is about
Hooters, and they're
25 feet
Irish
tall,
Scottish.
begins
I'm pretty
to
sure.
fall in
I don't know what it
giant
is, but it's
chunks.
the Tilted Kilt.
We're running back.
And whether it's Irish or
All right,
Scottish,
so I'm
I
gonna go ahead and
apologize
have,
that I'm not
Lyra
sure of
and
which it is.
Percy and Grog
But it is
all make
girls.
dexterity
It is like a
saving throws.
Hooters
Oh,
where
I'm
they
so
have
good at that
cleavage
with the
and
negatives.
exposure, but they're in like these little short
Oh, no, no,
kilts,
no, no, no.
and it is supposed to
I
be
can't
like
use
a
that
higher
dramatic.
end. I know they're around America. There's one in Vegas. There's one in Pittsburgh. I think there's one in New York,
'Cause I got
maybe.
a
Mike
negative
might know
two.
this. I'm pretty sure there's a Tilted Kilt in New York. I've never been to one, but my
All right.
brother
So,
has been to one because he's in Pittsburgh. And I think there's one in Disney World.
as the whole wall
I'm pretty sure there's one in Disney World, but it's I'm pretty sure it's Irish.
Backward.
Either way, someone check me on it. It's either Irish or Scottish. Like I said, to me, I'm Irish,
Escapes.
and it's always hard for me to determine the difference.
Unfortunately, though, Lyra and Percy kind of stumble backward, slipping on the ice that's actually coated the floor of this cavern, and get impacted with part of the fall. It's not too bad, but with
And then like there was another one. I saw it on Papa Meat.
Been bludgeoning, cold and
There was
bludgeoning
also
as-
like a high-end
But however, the rest of the cavern now lies
like
open with
Spanish
pieces of
type
jagged ice, almost
nightclub
like a broken glass
where it was
window
like a
itself, kind of
Hooters,
framing the
but it was
exterior of
more
this tunnel.
like
I'm not going to
Hispanic
have the
like
front anymore,
themed or
guys.
something like
You're the
that.
leader, so
Papa
choose
Meat had a
me.
thing on it, and then they went to the Tilted Kilt. If you look it up, they go to all these like Hooters like chain restaurants.
I think a
We
quick
should
shot.
take a short rest so that we're going in.
Yeah,
you know,
I had
it's-
scoliosis as a child. I'm not nimble. It's funny.
Before we take a
There's
short rest, may I?
they're out.
again
There's
use,
on here in
just
Nassau,
awaken mine, just
New
to
Hampshire
take
for a
a
bit,
chance
but I don't
just
know
to
if it's
see
still
how far
open.
away
They're-
we
I'm
are.
assuming the Tilted Kilt.
How far away are
I'm a
we?
shadow
You-
priest, and
you
trust
get
me,
an
I
image
don't
of
support
a
people as much as I
slowly
do
ascending and
DPS.
spiraling
Kilts
tunnel
originated in
that
Scotland.
ascends
I would
towards
say
the upper
Scottish
cavern
just
at the top
as
of the
a
mountain.
caution. That's kind of what I was thinking in my
upper
head. I'm
cavern,
like,
you only get a few
but then I
glimpses
see
of
like on
as
St.
they themselves
Patrick's Day,
only
you
have a few
always see
glimpses of,
like
but you
all the
see there
parades.
are,
They're very kilted up. It's a very kilted type
appears this is not the
parade
only
event,
obstacle in
and
the
that's Irish. So I'm like, I don't know. I always get confused.
Right.
Cool.
Let's carry on then.
Carry on my way
If
towards
it's
on.
open or if it's just a big cabin that we're going into.
I could not see.
From the best vantage point you could see, it was a chamber about, I'd say 80 to 85 feet to the ceiling.
Yeah, there's like a lot of cool
lined with
restaurants
jagged ice
that
crystals
have
are
opened up in
coalescing at cold
Pittsburgh that Ray
temperatures, so
tells me
cold that it's
about,
almost-
and then
it's
they
almost
like,
the inside of a,
I guess don't catch on.
like a geode, but it's all made of ice.
And they like, or
You
maybe
see
rent's too
multiple
expensive. I don't know.
platforms that are risen in the
I gotta
walls
ask him.
of
There was
this,
like a
and in the
meatball
center
place
there
that
is
we
a
like when I
singular
last
platform, and
visited
they're
him.
sitting atop of it.
It was like literally gourmet meatballs. Their whole menu was
And then the
dozens
image
of different
shuts
styles of
itself out as one of
meatballs
them
and
glances
shapes
over
and
at the shoulder
sizes and
with a-
stuff.
and it's
And it was
growing
very
uncomfortable
good.
sharing
I will say they had a very good meatball.
I thank
very good meatballs because they were all different.
Let's carry on.
But
Pressing forward, you can see
like, I'm
giant
wondering if
still kind
something
of
like that
dragging
would
itself forward with a
you know,
portion of its
last.
physical body.
I feel like initially it's like, oh,
essentially
you gotta go try that.
gutted.
But then, like, I think, like, how many times, even if it's like the best meatball you ever had, how many times
No, no.
are you gonna want to go have just meatballs? Like, they had nothing else. I remember it was like maybe one or two other things. Like, you can get a side of bread and then like dip it or make like a little meatball sandwich. But I was like, if all it's like a hot dog stand. Like, a hot dog stand usually just sells hot dogs, but it's not a big deal because the overhead isn't much on a hot dog stand.
if you haven't already
You
went
have a
back, you healed it now?
gigantic gourmet restaurant and all you sell is meatballs.
All right,
I don't care how good they are. I
continue
feel like
to
at a
this
point,
extremely cold.
people are just going to get tired of the fact that you just sell meatballs. Like, I go to the same place all the time, but I'll get like a steak one night,
you guys
I'll get
continue
seafood
to
another
ascend up this
night, I'll get a
pitch black
burger
cavern
one
where it
night,
appears that both
I'll
the
get like an
giants and the
appetizer
dragon
sometimes.
not really like
Like, I
to
mix it
make
up
their way through
because
this
they have a
construction.
wide
So you are
variety.
these small
I just feel
beads
like a place that
of
doesn't have variety is
visual,
going to
lightness and
eventually
structure.
feel the hurt.
The floor itself is slick, and there are bits of rough rock that you can find foot purchase, but there are a few moments where some of you slip and lose about 10 feet and catch yourself and have to move upward with this slight 35-ish degree incline, slowly spiraling.
I'm actually
upward.
very weird. I'm part Scottish,
push forward
German,
for
and
about
Native
30
American.
minutes or
Noah,
so in this
I agree with
long,
Sean there. I'm
seemingly
I have Scottish descent, and I'm part of Clan
lack of a better
Summers.
term, there isn't a lot
Kilts
of
are more a
change to
Scottish.
variation
It's
to it.
clan,
It's just
aka
a
gang
gradual
colors.
spiral in itself.
Gotcha.
wanna keep
I am
yourself
as well. From what I always say, I'm half Irish, half Italian. But
Okay.
years after, I had to breathe. Years after my
Oh, but
mom,
okay, but this is
well, I guess I don't know when, I don't know how this all broke down. All I know is, as I got older, I found out my grandfather was adopted. I don't think my mom found out till later too, but however the heck that broke down. At some point, my mom told us that my grandfather was adopted, but my whole life she would always say, just tell people you're half Irish, half Italian, because I'm legitimately half Italian. My dad's parents were both off the boat from Italy, like parents of his parents or something like that. 100% Italian on that side,
Glancing about,
without
you do see
a
there are
problem.
claw
My
marks along the walls. You
mom's
can see where
mother
portions
was
of this cavern
100%
were-
Irish,
were carved
and
out
his adopted family,
by
her
the
father's
claws
adopted
of
family,
Ryan
was
Fang.
100%
You can
Irish.
see
So we just always said we're
that
50-50. But then after the fact,
occasionally
they dug up the
there are
records
pieces of
and
frozen
found
rock
out my grandfather's
that are
or
ice,
biological
some that appear
parents
to be,
were like a smorgasbord of nationalities. I feel like, and Native American, the whole point of my story is Native American was one of them, and it was one of the higher ones.
as you
I feel like
push
it was
further
like
up this cavern,
8%
you
or
spot what looks
18%
like
Native
the lower half
American,
of a statue.
but it was like a bunch of stuff.
That's
And my mom was always like, well, technically you're all these things too, but
Oh, I'm really.
I think I was like already out of high school when I found out. My grandfather died in the 90s, so I was already like, I feel like a teenager when he passed
lower half of
away.
the torso itself is
And I don't think
given
I
off
even knew
stench of slowly
till
rotting
after
flesh.
I graduated high
There
school.
is
And I think
ice
my
encasing
mom
the
didn't
lower
find
half of
out
it.
till years after his death or something.
It's
So
interesting because the physical form of
it
the
just became
frost
easier
ice
to be like,
resists
rather than
cold
think about it,
naturally.
I'm
In this temperature, it
50-50.
would normally freeze
But
the
if I
other
actually
flesh
sit and
completely
think about it,
solid.
I
Here,
am
it just
Native
naturally
American. I
decays.
feel like there's German in there,
But
maybe,
there are dis-
possibly.
there is a
Dutch,
distinct
there was
place where
definitely
the torso
Dutch.
was removed
There was
forcibly
definitely
by
Dutch
a series
and
of
Native
daggers
American.
and/or dragon's teeth.
I remember
I have
those
little ginger
specifically.
chews if anybody wants one.
I'll
because
take
it's
one.
very,
So,
very-
You know, but I would still, the reason, the fact remains
About
that the
4
vast
minutes of
majority,
walking,
because he
come
was
upon
also Irish,
another
biologically.
frozen wall
So
barrier.
grandmother was 100%, he was a little bit. My mom, like, I look at it like the vast majority of me is Italian and Irish.
5.
As far as you can tell, it is a frost snow-covered ground with walls
And we always
Everyone,
celebrate.
There are definitely.
We
no
always
traps
celebrate
here.
every Italian and Irish
just stay
holiday.
back.
They are, my
I think I
parents
just find
are
it
like
far.
very,
That's a good idea.
like,
and
into
a
their-
leader idea
their
that I had.
nationalities.
Yeah, just reminded me I
That's
had.
a great idea.
I wouldn't say
I'm
they
gonna roll
freak out. They're not like
ranking on it.
screaming in the
Thank you.
streets, but they are very
Oh, that's
proud of
definitely- that's
their
a
nationalities. Like my mom, I always remember my mom going out on St. Patrick's Day, representing, like wearing green, and she would wear like earrings and be like,
So as
"Go
you
Irish!"
focus,
Like very,
focus with an
very
eye
into
aim, release
everything.
a secondary firebolt.
And my dad is your
Slams into the
stereotypical
front of the ice, the
Irish.
wall of ice,
He's
which
like a
immediately
walking Irish
bursts
Italian
inside. Shattered
stereotype,
shards of
basically.
glass-like ice go flying further up the cavern. The rest of it kind of falls and collapses at a distance around you. Thankfully, you're all far enough away where there isn't an issue, and the wall seems to
That's your way you do it.
And the wall comes a tumbling down.
Lyra, you're really.
You don't have to try to be afraid anymore when the wall comes. What is that from? And the wall comes a
studied
tumbling
dragons a
down.
lot.
Is that Puff the Magic Dragon?
I just want to say.
Yes.
Yes.
So obviously we all know that they're susceptible to fire damage, yes?
Yes.
This is an ice-breathing bastard.
I don't really value my dad's side of the picture.
Yes.
Also,
He was an abusive a-hole, so I hear you.
Don't dragons
Yes, don't
love
worry about
especially
that
bright
then.
ones, shiny,
I honestly always
sparkly things,
enjoyed-
especially gems, from what I've
I always wondered if, like, I grew up with different nationalities, if I would care as much. Because I always thought that Italian and Irish, like, especially growing up in the 80s and 90s,
No.
where I come from, I live in a very Irish-Italian area of New Jersey. Like, we grew up in Elizabeth. Elizabeth was very Irish-Italian. It's not anymore.
But yes, we
But
could
then
do
we
that.
moved up
mean,
to
even these two guys
Watchung,
might
and we're on the
be
cusp
something
of
about
like the border of North Plainfield.
least to get
And
close
North
to
Plainfield
him
at the time was very
before we spring
Italian.
an attack.
It was funny because we kind of like
Make an
migrated
intelligence check.
unintentionally with
advantage
all
because
the
it's
other
pertaining to
Italians without realizing it. Like we went from Elizabeth to like North Plainfield,
Is that
Watchung
an
to
insight
Warren,
check?
where we are now, which is
Add
right
an
next
intelligence
door.
modifier.
Okay, let me
And
see what that. Oh, that's Grogs. What am
it
I
was
yours?
definitely
Okay, so 20
very
is
Irish
high.
and Italian. So to me,
20 is
I was always
the
very
high
like
roll.
All right.
like
so-
proud to be Irish and
Oh, no,
Italian. But I'm like
22. Okay.
I was also surrounded by
even
Irish
you
and
know
Italian
about
people who were
dragons,
always
specifically
like
white
very
dragons when
proud
you're studying,
people. So I'm wondering if I like
you lost
grew up
some
and I
very
was like
important use
an
points of
outsider.
And so you
that
spend
was
a lot
like
of your
a-
life
like the
focused on
only
their
one that,
techniques,
like-
their abilities,
I don't know.
work.
I
White
might not have
dragons,
cared too much.
You know, for one, have complete immunity.
Like
to
even now, I don't
cold
care
damage
too.
of
Like,
all sorts, has no
like I
effect
always make
whatsoever.
jokes. I'll be like, well, it's because I'm Italian
they
or something
have
like
ability
that.
to flight.
Like I'll make jokes
They
like
surround
about
themselves with ice, but are not
stereotypes
hindered by
and
it
stuff like
whatsoever.
that. But for the most part,
do
like
know
I
that
don't think
their-
it really
their
factors
claws
in a
and
whole
teeth are
lot.
extremely dangerous. They themselves also, using their wings and their tail, become a fierce entity from all sides. It's cold.
By the way,
breath
we're
is
down about 15
extremely
minutes.
dangerous.
Anybody new in the chat, like the
Have a
video if
large
you have
area.
not, like
Eden's
and
presence is
subscribe.
frightful enough to where
You have
some
some
of the most
good
extreme
mob blood
adventurers
there, Jay.
are
The
running
Irish and the
fleeing
Italian
powers,
mafia are really interesting topics. Noah,
Let alone its layer
literally, I grew up
itself
in
already
Elizabeth,
has an advantage as
and
it sets an
my
environment
father's
that
mother
advantage.
is of the Gambinos,
So anything
directly
everything you can do
related to the
prepare and
Gambino
be ready
crime
for such an
family.
encounter
So
would be
we
highly
actually do
recommended.
come like I think it's
The
like
sensation that even though
my
they're
grandmother,
cold-based,
like that's my dad's mother.
fire doesn't
Her brother
necessarily
was
generate
like
any additional
very
damage,
connected to
but
the families and stuff.
But it does-
My dad
but
tells
it
me
is not
stories all the time
resistant
about
or
his uncles,
meaning which
how there was always
What
like
about lightning damage?
shady characters around and
most-
things happening and stuff like that.
that's the
But that was
most-
like his
most magics
parents'
and other types of
generation.
damage other than
By the
cold
time
have,
him and his
an
brothers
effect on it, though it
were
does
of
have,
adult age, it kind of
unnatural
like
resilience to,
had phased out of the family
spells and things,
because my grandmother had married, and it wasn't a
electric.
Gambino anymore.
I can cast Stone Skin on
But-
one person. Or up to,
Yes,
actually,
basically we
I
have
could
direct
cast Stone
ties
Skin
to
up to 3
Gambino
times.
crime family.
But it's
And his
concentrated
uncle,
spells, so it can't affect one person.
I think it's
Really have
Uncle
that one
Mo
person at a
or
time.
Curly.
So,
How funny is that?
who would be
I was
most
gonna say, I'm
likely
like, it's one of the
to,
Three Stooges,
resist,
Curly. It's funny
slash
because
hit
Curly
and
in the Three
bludgeoning
Stooges is
damage.
like a
Grog.
is like a chubby bald guy.
Yeah.
His uncle Curly was this
As long as
emaciatedly
it's
skinny
a
Italian man,
formation,
like looked like
already
Vincent
have
Price
the
with like the
ability to just-
stereotypical mustache and stuff. And
Oh,
he was
okay.
like,
So
there
then
was like
when
a
you did it,
documentary
it was
on the other
within
day, and my
range
dad's like,
of,
that's my Uncle Curly.
Trinkets.
And he
Okay.
apparently
Kids here?
got very roughed up because he saw things he shouldn't have seen, and they were afraid he'd talk and all this stuff. But it's all like documented now on documentaries.
I certainly want to.
But that's why, like, I would always think it's like
It's
cool to be Italian because you have connections to like gangsters, you know, like typical stuff. That's how I thought as a kid. I'm saying, as a kid, I was like, oh, you're like you got direct ties
But if he
to
does
gangsters, so
have
people.
Will you
it was more so like I was
Probably.
bullied as a
All
kid,
right, well,
so
that
it was
could be
like
another,
as you got older, like I'm gonna
Does that
scare
seem
people
like a
into
good
thinking
idea?
that like, oh, you don't screw with this guy because his family's in the mafia. But it was more so just like the thrill of being I'm Italian and I'm
I've
connected.
got a wide range. I like to keep people guessing.
Yes.
Sort of my thing.
But we wouldn't really want you within,
Probably
like,
maybe
claw
one of
damage.
you guys, the
I wouldn't want that.
Well, the mob/mafia ran America for years, and that is a great subject for a school
It does
project.
make more sense. I don't mean to demean the
Me and my dad
Trinket.
watch
He is a
documentaries all the
lovely
time.
man.
Of all
They'll
the
have like
guys
on the
out there,
History
he's
Channel, or
top
there's
five.
like,
Top five.
I feel like there's a network now that's all about
the conversation and kind of like
crime and
plants
mob
both feet in the ground.
dramas and stuff. He's always watching.
He looks
These
yeah,
shows.
tough he is. He's pretty tough.
Seems to be showing off. And for a moment, even though there's conversation,
Okay.
there's a dangerous looking bear.
No,
I like to
okay.
use
We're gonna
beast,
stone.
I like to use
stone
beast speak on Trinket.
All right.
And
Oh,
say,
really?
Trinket.
Beast
what are you feeling
speak.
right now?
I'm
What's
paying
going on?
attention, guys. It's getting exciting now. Here we go.
Okay, you notice Zara
Trinket.
leans forward and starts
Gonna
speaking
see
a
if we can get
series
Trinket
of low
to talk to us. Get a little.
sounds. Like it's weird. There's like this weird arcane interference and this strange, almost like the sound itself is being muffled and stretched. And Trinket returns to her and starts giving the same noises back. Trinket says to you essentially,
I'll do whatever it takes to protect my Vex. If this creature tries anything, I will tear its throat from
How
its
adorable is that?
Sounds super sexy.
Very sexy.
Trinket will do anything for his Vex. Listen to this guy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I will cast Stone Skin. It lasts an hour.
Listen
so
to this
I'll cast
giant bear
It's
friend
right,
of ours.
uh,
The Irish
within
mob was
the
pretty
perimeter.
strong back
as
then.
during this
Yeah, there was a
conversation-
lot too. Like
Very
when we watch the
I
mob
also want
shows,
to tell you
there's
that-
always a slew of Irish mob ones in there. Yeah, usually always there's it's like you can't talk about the Irish mob without
Bear balls.
including
You.
I needed
feels
the
like
guy
I'm
whose
looking
name
at
I'm totally
you.
brain farting on.
fight we're about to do.
Black Mask guy.
All right.
Oh my god, I totally just brain farted on his name. The guy in Black Mask. Every time any Irish mob story whatsoever comes up, either him or the Iceman, because I feel like wasn't the Iceman Irish too? I feel like.
and nuzzles nose up against the side.
Well, I love history in general, though. So do I, Noah. When my brother comes, like my dad watches it all the time. He's either watching the news, the stock channel, or the history channel,
Glorious.
and I'm always like. A Whitey Bulger, yes. I was gonna say, I'm like, I can't see what that says. Whitey Bulger, yes. It always comes up when we're talking
As
Irish
Lyra's in
gangsters.
This kind of memory
But
trance finishes casting
yeah,
the
he's-
stone skin and reaches out and touches Trinket. You can see
he's
Trinket's
always
physical
watching
form, all the
either the History
fur seems to
Channel,
coalesce
something
into a,
like it could be the Discovery
a
Channel, the
thick
History
rock
Channel,
type,
Turner Classic
exterior
Movies.
shell of
It's
a
always
magic
something historical, dated thing.
the
Or
armor
he's
classes
watching
have changed,
the
but
news.
all
And
damage that
whenever I
Trinket
like
takes
go
from
over
both
there
piercing
to
or
make
slashing
food and
is
check
reduced
on
by
him,
half.
I'm like, if you put on like the History Channel, I'll hang around. I just don't want to watch the news. Like every time because it's not only annoying to watch the news every day. Like I mean, it's one thing to keep up to date on current affairs. It's another to watch the same thing over and over and over. He just watches the news on repeat. So I'll go like put on like the History Channel or something and I'll watch it. But then.
Yep.
Like not only will the news be annoying, he'll pause it. He'll just keep like he'll be like he'll pause it and be like, "Yeah, did you hear about this?" And he'll explain to me something I already know for 20 minutes. And by the time he's done explaining, I'm done eating, and I never watched anything because the entire time I ate, he was explaining to me something
17.
while the TV was paused, and it was something I already knew
41.
about.
As you begin
So
stepping
I
forward,
typically
up the cavern where the
only
wall
watch
itself
TV
has
now with my
collapsed,
dad when my brother visits or
step
something
forward
because
to a part of
Ray
the ice that
loves his
is far more
history
brittle
and
than you
stuff.
expected, and
We
suddenly
were
it breaks
marathoning
into
when Ray came for
My
Easter.
common sense is
We
tingling.
marathoned
You
that
push
new
off
Dan
and you fall onto your
Aykroyd
back,
show.
and as you guys
Well,
are
it's
going,
not
you
really
get
new, I
cracking
guess. It
and
came out like a
falling
year or two
of
ago.
Some sort of
Some
stone or ice-like structure.
show
You
where
see
Dan
your skin
Aykroyd
was
goes
stepping
around and
a
comes
10-foot,
and like talks about
diameter
the impossible
pit
things that happen in the
crumbles and
world.
falls beneath. And peering
I think it
over
was
the
called
inside
Unbelievable.
and using
I
the
think it's
light, you
literally
can
called
see
The
there appears to be
Unbelievable
an
or something
arrangement
like that.
of razor
We
sharp
marathoned
ice
like 2
spikes
seasons of it when Ray
on a
came.
15-foot pit.
Why isn't my brother here?
Why
I need to check
isn't
the
your
traps
brother
from
here?
now on.
To save the heads and stuff.
I'm currently really into the history of Malaysia
Right there.
and the Straits, so Southeast
take
Asia.
up our whole
I'm
path now?
I'm
Now,
like
The tunnel itself is
in
about
general.
20
I was
foot
telling
wide
Lauren
at
this the other
point,
day.
so you
I
guys
just
can
love
move around it.
learning.
Okay.
I'm
the
very
giants
like
move
if you
ahead-
tell
or
me
ahead
like,
of you
oh,
at
I
this
do
point.
this for a living,
They laugh.
and I'm like hanging out with you for like a couple hours,
Its head, the
I'll
other
like
one's
want to know
floppy.
everything about what you do if it's like interesting.
Gee,
I'm just like I'm just things that
that's
interest
not
me.
ready.
I want to learn about.
Thanks
So like
for
if you
that
talk about like the
statement.
pyramids or
move forward.
something that to me is
Honest.
usually it's things to me that are unexplainable. Like if you like to me the pyramids are like this amazing impressive
But I could have been
feat,
knowing
something like
Johnny all the
that.
time, so I
If you
was
have something like that, I'm like I want to know more about this because to me like it just
Alright.
is
anybody
mind
falls, I can make a fall
blowing. It's
gently.
baffling how this came to be.
Yes.
Stuff like that usually gets me going. Like the Atlantis, when people talk about Atlantis, or if aliens have
Alright.
come down, and if that's how we
go ahead and
have
make
superior
your perception check as we move
technology,
forward.
or that's how the Egyptians built the pyramids, stuff like this. Whether or not I believe it, I don't know. I just like hearing about theorizing and stuff like this when it comes to
That would
the
be
world.
a 15.
15.
You guys continue to push upward this long, spiraling corridor. You reach another ice wall that has already been partially broken from some sort of encounter long ago.
The Brits loved
You immediately peer that the part of the wall
As
that is
Southeast
broken,
Asia,
there's about a 10-foot
the
wide
Brits
walk
loved
passage.
Southeast
the entirety
Asia.
Of that
I love
walkway
the
appears to be
prohibition
another
history
trap,
and mob
the
history
giants
of
are kind
USA.
swaying back.
Well, the mob mafia. Well, I think I read that already.
There's
Yes, like Untouchables, one of my favorite of all time. I say it all the time.
Oh,
Easily, The Untouchables with
I know
Kevin
it's
Costner, Sean Connery
I'm gonna do it.
is.
How do we get
I mean,
around?
I've
What do we
seen
do?
tens of thousands of movies over the course of my life. I would easily say if I had to, like, I don't know how my ranking would be, because there are so many good movies. But I cannot imagine, to be fair, I can't imagine Untouchables wouldn't be in the top 50 of all time for me. Like, I would almost think it's higher, but I'm going to be generous and say top 50 just because there are a ridiculous amount of really good
This bolt
movies.
arcs around
Like
from the
there
side,
are
you
good
hit it
franchises.
right at the point
Some
where
franchises have
half the wall
a
collapsed,
10 like
causing the other
anywhere
half of
from
the wall
like
to immediately
5 to
shatter
a
and
dozen
collapse inward,
movies.
spraying
If you have like
ice
the
and rock
trilogies,
against
the epic trilogy, you
wall
could
on
fill
that
a
side.
top
The
100
ground
out of
rough
epic
terrain in that general
trilogies.
vicinity, but it's easy
I
enough
would
to
honestly
traverse
say
over with
Untouchables
serious
with the
issue.
music and
As
the
you guys
acting
step
and
over,
the
giants kind of
actors.
make their way through, stepping
I've
over it entirely.
watched
with
The
their
Untouchables a
long gait.
bazillion times.
You move carefully over the shattered wall bits, but the ground itself seems solid. You continue to pass that issue.
Before we go into the actual lair of the dragon, once we
It's easily my favorite gangster movie. Like people always say like Casino or Goodfellas is like #1 Godfather. Godfather is a masterpiece. This goes back to my theory of like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future stuff. The original movies are 100% better. They're masterpieces. But I feel like the sequels are more fun and rewatchable.
Well, what do they,
I feel like they're like more
giants?
jokey. It's like they're more like laid back with like in general, not like all the time. But I feel like that's how Untouchables is. I feel like Untouchables is like it's not that long. Godfather is way too long. Untouchables is like under 2 hours. I feel like. Robert De Niro's in it. You need that in a gangster movie. Robert De Niro has to be in it.
That's
good.
That's really good.
So, learning of the dragon, will they be able to detect us if we cast invisibility?
Britain set out
what I would
conquering
get,
the
like,
world
is
looking
his
for spices.
nature?
Don't use any spices
nature
because
check,
apparently
animal
black
handling?
pepper is quite spicy.
This
So I'm
is
guessing
important.
it was an early counter-chemical warfare strategy.
That's a 30. That's a 20.
Yeah, and how the
23.
different
Okay, so I have this-
conscription
okay.
and different
what you've read
tactics
of
they use
dragons,
compared to feudal Europe, it's
their-
really interesting.
Their ability to sense the surroundings
Asia is a touchy
adapted
subject
to
for the British.
all
I
environments,
also
whether
really
they
like
can see it or
feudal
not.
Japan.
They actually have the ability to see with no sight necessary to a certain
Feudal Japan, the
extent.
samurai
So
and such. Yes,
this
that
ability
stuff's wild.
would
I'm
help
not
them
gonna lie. I
a
love
distance, quite a bit
westerns
of
and
distance,
stuff like that.
but
The
within a
Wild
certain
West,
point,
like
it
Wyatt
is
Earp.
able
I
to
love
sense
stuff
your
like that.
presence
Kevin
whether or
Costner
not
again.
it can
I watched
see you.
Wyatt Earp a million times.
Also, remember, if you
Tombstone.
cast
I
invisibility,
love
you lose
the
your concentration
chaoticness
spell.
of the Wild West.
But
But I also feudal Japan with samurai, like the last samurai I saw Shogun. Those of you who have not seen Shogun of recent, I did the whole thing on Patreon. I think I edited up every episode for YouTube too. I'm pretty sure every episode's edited up. Shogun was phenomenal. phenomenal.
I have to set it off personally. I actually have to.
I feel like there could have been more towards the end. I apologize if you loved it. I didn't hate it. It was a freaking masterpiece. But I feel like I was left wanting more at the end, which I mean might be the sign of a great show. Shogun is amazing. Radiator check, says Ninja Master. Everybody, radiator check. We're gonna hit the brakes. So here we go. Radiator check. I think Matt's got like 2 minutes left. We're gonna reset the clock. We're gonna go a little more. So don't know about it go nowhere.
We could put it in a bag.
Did we figure out what that was from last week?
Bomb or something, and when he picks it up and like
Don't know about it go
in his
nowhere.
face.
It's not.
I feel like I'm saying it in a way you should get it, but I also am insane.
More things than
Radiators
normally
unite.
go away, to be fair.
Well, it seems worthy of trying to get close to him because his attacks. Would he have, as a dragon, have a very good length attack?
Yeah.
Right.
As a dragon has some decent reach with some of its attacks.
Yes.
Its bite, its length of neck and ability to bite actually has quite a bit of reach. Also, its tail has quite some reach as well. It can cover some decent ground just with its physical form.
The thing is, obviously, the trolls don't come up here a lot, or there won't be so much ice in here. Walls. So I think that's a problem. So it's not as if they come up here all the time to give them treats.
Balls to
right?
the walls.
I mean, we could just
I'm
walk
just
in
waiting
there,
because I know any second. We also have a shot ready to go. Is anybody new in the chat? Anybody new in the chat? Say what's up. If not, I think that I already said that Ninja would get this next shot because of the $2 super chat that Ninja Master has given on top of the other $2 super chat. But like, if you haven't, we're almost halfway. We're still gonna do like another 20 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna see how far we could get.
As you turn the corner, the little bit of light.
But we might do a good 30 minutes or so.
You can see there appears to be one final
Are
ice
the vapes
wall
better
that has
than
attempted to
joints,
open
Jay?
where
I
it
would
is just
say
left as a pathway
very
to
convenient,
open
Sean.
into a darkened chamber.
But I definitely think there is no comparison to the real
I have dark
deal.
vision
Holy
for 60
feel.
feet. So
If
I
all
could
you
approach
hookers and hoes know how I feel.
this 10
The
foot wide,
no, I it's definitely
around the
nice
side,
and
sort of peer in
convenient,
just see
and
what's there, 60
it
feet
works.
away.
It does the job.
So
It
you
definitely
walk
does
up
the
past
job.
giants towards this
But I
Get
still
ready, guys.
would, like in an
as you
ideal
walk
scenario,
forward, you
I would
see
want
your
raw
vision kind
stuff.
of, spill out into the darkness ahead of you with a little bit of dim light.
I will
and-
also
and
say,
darkness before you kind of reveals itself. You
even
can see
the hardest hitting
a
vapes
smattering of broken bits along the ground,
don't
with rocks of ice.
hit as hard as raw
frozen
stuff,
leg.
which might be a
Some
good thing
humanoid,
because a
an
lot of
arm,
people, pretty much everyone I
some
know,
scattered
when they start
broken armor and weapons.
smoking raw
So
stuff,
there
even
is
if they're like
pieces of what appears to be a
professional
frozen open
potheads,
graveyard of
will choke
previous
like the first couple
attempts
times
towards
with
inhabiting
raw
this-
stuff
this
because it's just so
room.
harsh initially,
as
and then you get
continue
used to
to
it.
push forward towards
But
the
like
edge,
with a
just
vape, I
towards the
almost
perimeter,
never cough.
As far as your vision can see at this doorway, you
So
see
I'm
a
assuming
central
it's
platform
way better
in the middle of this
for
giant
you,
chamber that
like your
rises
throat
up
and everything.
about 15 feet.
Based on the
About
fact
10,
I'm not
15 feet.
hacking my freaking
And
head
just
off.
cresting over the top of this platform.
Here it comes,
is the
guys.
edge of an alabaster snout with teeth kind of overlapping.
Here it is. We have approached
His growling snarl.
the snout.
And this little voice kind of spills out from underneath and says, "Why don't you enter?
Love it.
If you're going to arrive,
I love it.
present
Great song. J balls to the wall. Yes, balls to the wall. Why was I singing it? Balls to the wall. Someone must have. Something must have been about a wall or something. I don't know. I remember singing
So
it.
we're take a quick 10-minute
The
break.
same
go ahead and use the bathroom, get a little
buzz.
snack.
Yeah,
Yes.
We're
honestly,
8 subscribers away from another giveaway.
I would say different sensation, but kind of accomplishes the same goal. Like at the end of the day, the goal is to just like feel like euphoric and like just disconnect for a minute. I feel like in most cases, I would say
Almost. parentheses.
it equally does the job, but I feel like it does it in a different way.
No, I mean,
But very, very
Right?
very subtle differences.
I don't believe
I
in
feel
vapes.
like if anything, the vape gets you more
consider
paranoid.
the
If
title
that makes any
Daydreaming?
sense, I don't know why. It could also be there's 100 different vapes, so it could just be specifically the one I took.
off. It's like
But
That's really
as bad as by Felicia.
there are times where like I'll hit it, and maybe it's also that I'm doing it too much, but I'll be like, oh my god, like I feel like totally insane. Like Lauren,
See how this goes.
other people have said the same thing to me, so it isn't just like my experience. Other people have been like, yeah, no, I totally know what you're talking about. We're gonna skip ahead. We're gonna reset the clocks.
Leaving Draconia.
Walk in. He's beckoning us. Let's walk.
Oh, I might have went a little too far and seen too much.
We don't have time to do any of this.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we do.
We have a sec. I'm gonna hand you my holy hand grenade of Antioch. So
Seriously?
why not?
All right, let's do that. 148.19. 148.19, everybody. That was a short break. That was like less than 15-minute break for them. So everybody reset. We are going to do at least... What was it? No, I don't even remember. That's it. We're done. 148.19. 1 is the loneliest number that you ever knew. 2 could be as sad as 1. It's the loneliest number since the number 1. Oh. All right. 148.19. I know that I saw Zach jump out here like around 3:55. Now I don't see him. Where are you, Zach? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Oh, yeah, he jumped up, but then he jumped back away. I feel like there's yeah, there's Zach right there. Right around like, oh yeah, there it is right there. They're ending it. Hey, there's that guy. I know that guy. The guy with the glasses down there is from some reaction channel I watch. But yeah, right around 8:55 it ends. Probably even sooner than that. So, that is almost 2 hours real time. I want to do the hour Patreon about them. Let's do like, we'll aim for like maybe 2:10, 2:15, which is about another 20, 25 minutes, maybe longer. We'll go. We're going to roll with it. We'll see what's up. So everybody, get ready for the countdown. Nice nod to 3 Dog Night. Yes, yes, yes. 1 is the loneliest number. Stronger? Well, it takes less from the concentrate, but does last as long. We're talking about vapes or the real thing. All right, everybody, here we go. We're going to jump right in because we're going to do at least another 30 minutes, and then we're going to take a shot as soon as we get going. If you are new in the chat, shout out, hey, I'm new, and you will get this shot dedicated to you. And like and subscribe if we have 50 likes. We will keep going after this 30 minutes or so. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Monster.
I'm going to very gingerly put that in the bag.
Very gingerly.
I'm putting...
Put it in the bag, everybody.
Right.
Watch a monster.
Very
Make sure
gingerly
you
put it in the
do it.
bag.
Both hold monster.
I can't.
I am putting Percy
And this is, I don't see anybody new in the chat, so I said Ninja would get this shot as well. So shot for Ninja on double super chats, $2 super chats from Ninja Master. We salute you to the great Ninja. We've got
Diamonds are forever.
max of 30 minutes left to go. Cheers.
I'm putting that in the bag. Are we tossing this at him? What are we
No,
doing?
we're gonna walk in. He's beckoning us. Let's walk in. I'm walking in.
All right, you guys. So you guys all walk in.
Yep.
What's the order you guys walk in?
I'm going ahead.
We also
I'll take the bag.
have everybody
So
here
are you
now.
staying ahead with Scanlan, taking the
Why
bag?
are the spell?
I love it.
believe that
We're
you
going in.
people
The
should
dragon
be
is
here.
here.
I don't know.
Now,
Do you have a
Squishy, I
plan,
go with it.
Myra?
All right.
Oh no.
now who is this dragon?
All right.
Your plan is a good
As you know,
plan.
as you guys are
Because
walking
I do
through and the
obviously
light hits the
know
walls,
from
you
watching
can
the
see
animated show
the ice
that
itself, which you've been accustomed to,
Vox
is now
Machina
being
does
broken
turn
up with vision
into
of what looks like little glittering stars.
a
It's almost
giant
like you're walking
chase
through
for
a
dragons at
frozen
some point,
area
so
of
to
the
speak.
night
You know, like it's
sky.
not all about that.
You realize
But
that there are
where we're at with
gold
the
pieces
Chroma
frozen
Conclave and all the
in
dragons
all
and
throughout the wall,
Lance
the floor, the
Reddick
ceiling
turned
here.
into a dragon
The
before he
actual-
passed
whatever
away.
Wealth that this dragon has acquired is in
Thordak.
some way, shape, or form
His name was
embedded
Thordak.
in its own layer. Anyway, so we have the 3 of you up front. Who's up next?
I know you guys before. This is totally out of the blue that I'm bringing it up because it was
Alright,
like
so
an
you guys are
hour
ready to
ago.
move forward?
Critical Role has a card game like Magic. You guys were telling me. I'm guessing it hasn't
You have laser pointers
caught
to use, by the
on
way, if you
yet
wanna
too
put it
much.
wherever you
Like,
wanna
is
be.
it building a following or has it kind of just like
Scanlan should definitely
gotten stagnant?
I would like to go around.
Like, I just am curious because, like I said, I want to get involved in something that is hot. That's why I like the Final Fantasy Magic thing. Like I said, Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite franchises ever. Had I
I will
known,
go here.
that Lord of the Rings was doing something like Final Fantasy is doing that, blah, 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 blah.
All
Like
right.
how Final Fantasy is doing now.
This way?
Is that 90?
I would have 100% tried to get involved. But I didn't know about it till like a month or two ago when I heard about the Final Fantasy stuff.
Help us out.
The side there.
I love it. I love it.
So as you guys enter the
Look
chamber,
at the size of those, man. Those things.
The actual
I don't know if
area
like
is
we're
more
scale to
still
scale,
unfolded than any other point
but those
of
frost
the
giants are
interior
bigger
of
than
this
that
cabin has
dragon.
been.
I'm assuming the frost giants aren't
Even
actually
breathing
bigger than the
inward
dragon.
hurts in
If
itself,
we're
as
going
the
scale to
breathing
scale
air hits your
here,
lungs.
because that would be
One
wild.
thing
Those
is
frost
they're
giants
perched
would
atop
be.
this central platform.
I mean, just
grinning
do
down
it. Each one is
towards the rest
bigger.
of the
It
group.
looks like.
You, who have
I
checked
mean,
this out, Lyra, that
minus
had
the
an offering.
wingspan. The wingspan might be
Ren immediately
longer,
leans forward.
but the creatures themselves, those frost giants are bigger.
I want to make my
Yes,
way
we have. Oh, sorry. What?
While he's talking.
Noah shared through the ether.
I see.
I just had
Make a stealth
buffalo
check.
chicken jalapeno pizza delivered. Sounds pretty amazing. I natural 20.
Yeah, all I needed was fried chicken.
All we needed. I am very hungry. After we're done with all this, I'm going to make some giant
So
dinner.
you
I might make some fish.
somehow
Robbie told me
managed
last
to
night
dart
that they
out
had
the
went
visual
fishing.
reference of a very focused
And whenever they go
adult white
fishing,
dragon.
they
Red Fang
clean
does not seem to gather
some of the
any
fish
movement, and you just vanish
and
into
wrap
the
them up
side. Where
and
do you
bring them
go?
home. So he was,
Where do you
and
wanna go?
they're usually quite
a
tasty.
little bit further.
So
there.
he was
That
like,
sounds good.
I
Okay.
threw some fresh fish in
Percy, as you're
the
stepping over, you realize you're stepping
fridge.
onto
So I
what
might
looks like the broken lower half
have-
of another giant that has
I
fallen
grill
over
it.
a booted leg.
So I might
and
just
part
have
of
some
an eaten
fresh
armored
fish
torso
because
to your
at a
back.
point we either got to eat it or freeze
As
it
you
very
begin to
soon.
look through, you also see there are currently frozen in place 3 other individuals that are like in mid-battle and are
My
frozen.
God, look at this! I love them. I love them, little frozen minis.
They could help us.
Frozen minis. It's my favorite kind of mini.
We're
standing in front of a dragon. Frozen.
Rhyme Fang.
mini.
Great rhyme fang.
Oh,
What a glorious
We're also
moon
almost to
you are
50.
amidst the stars of
Rhyme
your
Fang.
tribe.
There we go.
We do have an offering for you.
Yes, and I use Mage Hand to lift the
I will have
diamond
dinner
out of the
after
bag
stream,
and
and
sort
not
of
sure
dangle it in front
what
of the
yet.
dragon.
Yeah, I'm pretty
we
sure.
brought you this
I was
diamond.
trying to
We
think of
come
it. I
from
have a
Slayer's
T-bone
Take.
steak
We represent the guild.
from
and
Memorial
We
Day
are here to formally apologize
that I
for
either have to
sending a
eat
few of our
tomorrow or
members here in
freeze
the
it.
past.
And I
to
was like,
promise
maybe I'll
we
eat
never
that. But then I
shall
was like, well,
again. And
I've had
as a
steak.
gift
Lauren
of
was joking with me the other day.
apology
She's like,
and hopefully
I have had
brotherhood,
steak
we
every
offer you
day
this diamond. There are
since
many more
last
to come.
Wednesday.
Everything else.
I have had for either lunch or dinner. I have had a giant
this
steak
logo
for either
will
lunch or
swallow it.
dinner every day since last Wednesday. So going on like 8 or 9 straight days, I have had a steak. And I was like, I probably should switch it up
off the perch a little bit.
and eat the
Its
fish.
head moves
And I
forward
could always
stretches
grill
outward,
the steak tomorrow. It's
no
the
more than
weekend.
maybe 10 feet
Saturday's a
from your
light
face.
day.
You can see it kind of inspecting the diamond as you're holding it by the mage hand, floating above the rest of the bag, and kind of chuckles to itself.
Steak is tasty, yeah, and Lauren loves it. Lauren's like, it's like, I was saying, if you could have anything ever, she was like steak and
There is a
potatoes.
diamond of much
Number one,
greater size
hands
and
down,
value
if
in
I
this
could have
pouch.
any meal, steak and potatoes.
first we want to
Steak
hear that
mainly,
you are
obviously, over the potatoes.
Going to allow
But
a safe passage out. Of
she's
here
not a big
before we
sushi
turn it
person.
over.
She's like, I won't really do sushi. She doesn't even like meat in her tacos because she thinks the sauce
Okay.
and the meat are weird in the veggies and the
Puffer.
Do we know what
tortilla.
started
I mean, I
buffering?
get it. I get what she's saying.
Okay.
I'm just like a vacuum and I'll eat
Please
and
allow a
devour
safe
anything.
passage.
But
And then I
yeah,
use that
steak,
roll
when it
for
comes to
persuasion,
steak, she's
and
not
I
big with
rolled
chicken or
a
pork.
19.
Not a big bacon. Like bacon, oh my God. I will literally eat a whole pound of bacon. I'll grill, I'll spend an hour slow cooking a pound of bacon till like each piece is
Lifts
perfect.
its head up,
And then
looking
I'll
down at
just
you with this very
dry it so it's not
disinterested,
too greasy, and make like a
snooty
little sandwich with like a
As it
pound
kind
of
of,
bacon on it.
snorts
I'll
out
put a
its
piece of
nose,
cheese on it,
this
and I'll have a
puff
pound of
frost
bacon sandwich with
shoots out,
cheese.
and crystals of ice falling
Probably
out of the ground
so
around
unhealthy.
It.
Not probably. I would. It is definitely unhealthy.
You trespass into my domain. Your
Like the video, by the way, we
voice
just
bouncing off
hit
the walls.
50,
No.
or halfway to 50.
Waking
We
me
just hit
from my
halfway to 50.
slumber
Like
by
the video.
freshly
Maybe we'll do it.
eaten slumber.
Maybe Maybe this guy over here will get to see him die.
I'm curious before you so walk into my dinner table. Why you seem to have
I will
gotten
have to
past
that.
my guardians.
But yeah, buffalo
Which point
chicken
the two
jalapeno
giants
pizza
were
sounds
sitting
quite
behind you, looking at each other
delicious.
Nervously.
Your guardians are well aware of our power and position. and
Last
do
night,
not want
I don't
to
think I said
offend you
this,
by
but last
turning
night me
us
and
away.
Lauren went and saw Little Mermaid at the Paper Mill Playhouse. It was like a Broadway acted Little Mermaid. It was very good. Had a very good time. And I forget why. Oh, we got home at like 11 o'clock. And she was like, I'm kind of hungry. And I'm like, I am starving. So I grilled steaks at like 11 o'clock at night. I grilled
Burt
2
Reynolds,
giant
and
T-bones.
I
It was
take great
glorious.
offense at that.
She got mad though because she was like, you disappeared for like an hour.
Aside for a moment
And I'm like,
with
I
a
had to
glance
like
of confusion
marinate and tenderize the
and almost
steaks.
amusement that you
And then
speak
I
up
like
to it with such
started, I like
a
had to get everything on the
disrespectful
grill ready. And then I literally, I was very drunk. And I was like, I'm just gonna, you know,
can
how
call me
long will
Mr.
this take?
Reynolds or
So in my
something.
drunken state, I'm like, it'd be really awesome if we had 2 T-bone steaks right now. And she said I was literally gone for over an hour. But I came back with 2 perfectly cooked, grilled, medium rare T-bone steaks. She devoured it. I literally, she like ate that to the bone. And she was like, I'm not going to complain that you vanished for an hour. But I was like, I don't know if I was gone that long, but it's very
down
possible.
upon you directly.
Burt.
Burt Reynolds. I love it. Here we go.
You say you're from the
I love that Matt went along with the Burt thing. I thought it was just going to be like swept under the rug kind of joke.
Years or so to become the hunted. I am the hunter. I am the scourge of the Thorain Tundra. I
Look at
am the
Felicia's face.
stalker of this timberland. Well,
Vex is
parts of
winding up an arrow. It's all about the prep. Right, Sean? I agree. That's why she was like, how could it take you over an hour? I don't know if she thought I was over there like doing shots or if I got like so drunk I passed out or something. But I was like, I can't just throw steaks on a grill. I have to like season them and tenderize them. Then I don't want the meat to be too tough. I want to make sure it's done right. What is the point of grilling a steak if you're not going to take pride in the process? So I didn't plan on it. If you don't plan on cooking a steak and you're drunk at midnight, it's going to take an hour to get a perfectly cooked, marinated, tenderized piece of meat. And it was very, very I mean, she was very happy
Make a
with
persuasion check versus the dragon's intimidation check.
Oh, versus a dragon for a dragon.
But you got this. Natural 20. All the way. Natural 20.
Burt Reynolds, Esquire.
I have my
Burt Reynolds time. I could see Sam doing. Has he ever done a Burt Reynolds like costume, like a cosplay? Because I feel like Sam with a stash and a big hat would do like a great
Plus 9.
Burt Reynolds. It's kind of like Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald. You just throw on a stash. He looks like he's got that
Look at each other.
kind of face.
They look down at the rest of you. They pull their axes out, with their shields at the ready, and then look back up at Rhyme Fang. And in Giant, you hear mutter under their breath.
All right.
It's now or never.
All right, here we go. Roll initiative. Here we go. We are battling a dragon with some frost giants.
Oh my god.
It's coming soon. If love goes into food, it tastes like
Rolled
it.
20
I
on
rolled
initiative.
another
If
20.
love goes into it, it's coming soon. Soon.
What is it with you?
Soon.
No! I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
him being Burt Reynolds, I'm assuming.
All right.
I'm like, what is all this soon?
25 to 20, anyone?
25.
28.
But yeah, my guess is
All right.
after this is over, I'm gonna throw some butter in a pan
Vex, leaving that up there.
and throw in some
all right,
fish.
Yeah. 20
And
to
season that shit up and eat a pound of fish.
19.
19, nice. 15 to 10.
12.
12, Zara at 12.
What's the low gonna be?
10 to 5.
7.
7.
Scanlan.
Scanlan with a 7. I feel like Scanlan.
Yes.
Negative.
-1.
Negative 1.
Did you roll a natural 1 on your
I rolled a 1 and I have a -2.
Oh my god.
Yes! I'm never going. I'm gonna
Negative
just
1. Have we ever seen that? Have we ever seen a negative number on a boss battle? By a guess, nonetheless?
Is that a record? Can you? I mean.
That is a record.
I've never heard.
I don't think we've ever had a negative initiative.
Do you like? Have we ever seen?
As the wings unfurl on top
I
of
don't.
this platform,
I feel like we've definitely had
Combat
negative.
round
We've
begins.
definitely had negative. I remember
If I take
specifically
one shot,
being
can
like,
I
oh,
hold my
you could
second
actually
shot
go
until
negative.
an event? Can I
But
time my second
No,
shot?
yeah,
to
roll
have
your initiative or
an
you roll your
initiative
action
roll
round,
on a
unfortunately.
boss battle
Darn it.
by a
What initiative
guest
did you roll again?
Low.
be a negative
Okay.
1, that is the
In that
worst.
case,
The worst.
all right, I'm going to take a few steps
Papa
behind
beats
that
him, though.
frozen creature right
Papa,
there.
can you hear me?
I'm going to pull out bad news.
All right.
Well, bad news is coming out. She's the boss, ladies and
I'm going to
gentlemen.
spend. I'm going to
She
aim
is
for the
the
face.
boss.
I'm
She
gonna
is the
take a-
leader.
I'm going to take a headshot on him.
Okay. The creature is in front of. I mean, the frozen warrior is in front of you.
I'm using him as just partial cover.
Okay, so you're behind the creature. Are you
Anybody
like,
new in
putting
the
it on it
chat?
to Aim?
More or less.
Anybody new in the
I'm
chat?
using him as a steady
Loaded
and as
dice.
partial cover as I take a
It is
headshot on
loaded
the
dice.
dragon.
They have sabotaged the
Okay.
Great Felicia
I'm
Day.
not taking a
They're
bonus for
like,
damage. No.
you think you run things, lady? We're gonna load your dice. We're gonna manipulate
not
the
hit.
system
As
and
shoot,
make you look the fool on your
it actually
own.
hits the body,
channel.
but the hardness of the dragon's scales
That's what they thought.
ricochets the shot off. You see
They're-
it
they're
impact on some
they're
on some part of the
truly
far side of the
evil.
cavern.
They're
and a
not the
few
good
pieces
people
of
we thought
rockets
they
and
were.
ice.
I'm going to burn bonus
Obviously, I'm
action. and
joking.
take to spend another grit point. And
Not for
do another
initiative.
shot.
Nope, never happened. Not
so
has
you're
gotten
doing your action
negative
surge? Taking my
charisma
action
checks,
surge.
but
Okay,
not
so
for
you use your
initiative. I
action
don't
surge?
think.
Is that- that's
Yeah,
it
I
for the
definitely
first round? You use your
recall
first round to reload
negative.
the bad
It's
news
not
and place
that.
it back
I mean,
up on
that in
top?
general is not common
Come on. Come
to have
on.
negative.
Another headshot, you said?
Yep.
rolls.
Ah, 19.
But,
That's much better. Plus 12,
I mean, especially
that's
as the
29
game
to
goes on,
32 to hit.
obviously you become stronger and stronger. It becomes
and that's,
less likely over time that you're going to roll negative.
12, 6.
So that
That's,
might be the first
15
and last
points
we
of
see
damage.
for a while.
Alrighty.
And a headshot means he's got disadvantage on all attacks for the next round.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, good to know. My favorite
Alrighty.
quote by Matt
That,
ever.
So, go
Okay,
ahead and
good to
roll.
know.
All right, so from the impact of the blast,
Shot
you see the shot
for Noah for joining us here
ricochet
tonight
off
and
of,
soon
Ryan Fang's
in
face.
the Patreon.
The impact sends
M.
a couple
Gormley.
of pieces of
That was
white
said by
dragon
M. Gormley
scale
before. I
shooting
didn't
off
even
into darkness,
realize.
and the head kind of
We have,
pierced from the impact,
in 1
shakes,
minute, we're going to take this
seemingly
for
kind of
Noah.
loosely,
Noah, in
shaken
1
by the
minute,
impact
you will
of the
get
blast.
the shot
The
for
blowback
for
from the gun
shouting
actually
out.
sends a large
What is
crack
making you
through
join
the physical
Patreon now
body
is
of the
something
stone
specifically
warrior, or the ice
drawing
warrior
your
ahead of you,
interest.
and it
I started
collapses into a
watching
pile of ice on the
Reacher,
ground in front of you.
and I think I'm going to start
Guilty about
putting
that.
Yellowstone on
I'm very
Patreon.
guilty about that.
I was talking about it the other day.
There probably
Every
was
show
not alive for
ended.
quite a while.
I
Okay, I
had
can
Yellow
believe
Jackets, The Last of Us,
Frozen
Severance.
solid. It breaks like the T1000.
All these shows
Hey,
just
it's the most
ended
useful he's ever been.
recently.
Probably.
So I have
All right,
like
and
time
Percy's
now.
turn.
I was waiting for Stranger Things and House of the Dragon, but
lightning arrow.
I feel like they're a ways away.
And I'm
They're
going
like
to
probably
attack
months
through my
away.
blazing bow.
Yeah, come on.
Alrighty.
Okay.
What did you miss, Neil? You missed everything. The whole
good.
game
That
has
is,
changed.
25?
But yeah, Reacher.
She said
25?
Yeah.
25 does hit, yes.
Jay, you forgot
Okay,
to put
so that
Batman
is
up.
4d8
Oh my God!
of,
Yes, I saw.
lightning
I think it
damage.
was. I saw somewhere.
Alright.
It was probably you in
Saving
the
throw for half,
chats or the
just
comments
take it.
Saving
saying
half.
that, and I totally.
That's a natural 20 on
Just
saving throw,
forgot.
so it takes half damage.
I think when I because usually when I start the monthly
That's some
poll,
stink eye.
I just cross it over,
Better not. Better. on
and I
saving throw than
didn't
attack.
realize it didn't. It didn't copy over. For some reason, like it must have replaced it with an older movie,
So 10.
or maybe I
Plus regular
added.
damage, right?
See, like
For my
if I
regular.
make the list and then I change one after the fact, like Batman, it could have been where I changed one to Batman, so the saved list
Collar of Hunter's Mark.
had the old one,
11 plus
and I didn't have the
20
replaced
plus
movie.
10
I
is
don't know.
21
All I
plus
know
Hunter's
is
Mark
So many.
I gotta make sure it's on June's
is
list.
4.
Gotta make sure
Okay.
June's list.
and
28
then plus
years
my
later,
blazing bow,
gotta
which
get my
adds another
tickets.
10.
Alrighty.
I think I'm just gonna do 28 days later. I'm gonna like react to it, just because I want to be prepared for when it comes out in June. So I think I'm just gonna react to it
One on the floor.
and see when I post it.
Oh, wow, 2 1s. That's great.
So the arrow,
In a
the actual
perfect
shaft
world,
begins to spark with bluish
I would
energy
love
as you
to
release it. The arrow transforms
edit
into
it. In a perfect world, I'd like to do 28 days later
impacts and courses through the
and
upper torso of the
28
dragon.
weeks later,
It's still trying to
and then edit
shake
them
off,
for
damage
YouTube so
from
people,
from
you know,
Chris's attack.
see the
It
channel and
manages
stuff.
to
But
push
I
off
don't
most
think
of
I
the
have the
impact and still take
time
damage
from
from it.
between now and
There's
then
also
to
a
do
burst
it.
of fire from the impact as well.
So
You
I
see
could
little
react to
flames
them, but I don't
outside
have the
his
time
body
to
and
edit
it
them.
just eventually
So
goes out from the cold
ideally,
air.
that would be awesome
That was
because
one
then
attack.
it would draw interest. Because then around when the movie's
Was it
dropping,
More.
that's when usually
spell in
those things happen.
The spell,
But
the lightning arrow is a bonus.
whatever. At some point, I'm
So
gonna react
I'll
to
make
it.
your next
You
attack
may
here.
have reposted
Right.
Phantom of the
Gotcha.
Opera.
Okay, so you have one more attack.
So I am
Reposted
going to
by
send
accident.
Trinket.
It's 2 movies, 28 days later, and then 28 weeks later. Yeah, I might just do
Dear
both
Lord.
movies
Can
in
Trinket
a
run around
separate
and attack his
reaction.
butt?
It's actually up on top of the 50.
But we're gonna take that shot.
Oh,
Is
so
everybody
Trinket
ready?
can't do shit right
We
now.
probably got
Not right now,
about
Trinket can move if you
Trinket
tell
can
10
move, and I'm gonna
minutes or
attack
so
him. Can I
left.
do
10,
that?
15
Yeah, you
minutes,
can do that.
maybe.
Have a break.
We're gonna keep rolling
We
until
wanna
I feel
spread
like
out.
it.
Okay.
So here's to
So,
the great
yeah, that's-
Noah
There.
Summers.
Okay.
It's the critical
Can I
role
attack
mainly.
again?
We'll
You
hear
can, yeah.
Noah
All right,
is for
I'll
you.
hit him
Cheers.
again with, okay, so just a regular attack.
All right.
Through the thing. Through the bow.
Yep. This is your second use of it, though. You're done with it.
Yes. 17.
17. As you fire the arrow, it takes its wing.
Over on
and
Patreon,
shatters
we've been
out of the
doing-
way, and the arrow just shatters.
I
in
told
midair.
people I wanted to start getting
Burst of
through
fire
shows
as it
quicker.
does not
So
happen.
Holly knows this.
25
I started doubling up
What was
on
it? What was
leverage
the first
because
one?
Holly Mac requests leverage. I started throwing out extra episodes of leverage.
That ends your turn.
Doctor Who, another person subscribes for Doctor Who. I started doing
Can I
that.
stealth?
Once upon a time, we do every
No,
week.
it's a hide action.
Then I'm gonna move
Because
along the
I
wall
already
further.
was doing 2 a month, and then somebody
Yeah,
asked
like that.
if we could do more.
All
So
right,
once
that
upon a
ends your
time,
turn.
Warehouse 13 is going on once or
Rhyme
twice a
Fang
week.
now.
Outer Banks once or twice
Shaking
a
off the
week.
Frustration looks around the room.
A lot of
Lifts
shows
up
going
its
on.
Back hind leg, spreads
like
its
almost
wings,
on a
and gives
weekly
this
basis.
large roar. The entire room shakes, and you see
Steven
pieces of
Universe
ice
is
and
one of the
rock begin to
popular ones.
falling
Marion
from the ceiling.
Ravenwood, hello to the great Marion.
Everybody,
Marion, we
go ahead
just
and
did a
make some
shot.
wisdom saving
You
throws.
missed it by seconds.
Everybody.
Marion, oh, I was going to say, are you at work still? Because it's too late. But I mean, too early, but it isn't. It's 8:01. 8:01, so I'm assuming you ran out the door at 5 o'clock. Because Marion is at
right.
3 hours behind me. So my guess is Marion
12.
ran out of work.
Natural
Marion was
20,
telling me
but it
she ain't
becomes
loving
18.
work
Okay.
life. Mainly not
less
because of
than
its
21.
work, mainly because her boss
All right.
is a cockapoo,
Rob.
to put it nicely.
This is gonna be rough.
Very wise.
Been
Lots
loving
of-
the leverage
lots of
reactions
red
and the Doctor Who
circles.
ones going
Alright,
to
so
be dipping my
the
toe into
sheer
Warehouse 13.
amount of
Warehouse 13
presence
is a delight.
that this dragon
I'm
permeates
liking it.
sends a shiver
Reacher,
of fear
I'm not
down your
reacting to
spine.
Reacher. I just started watching
Vex,
it on my own.
Percy, Grog,
I
and
got
one of
to
the
a point
giants
where there
are
are so
currently
many
frightened.
shows. We were talking about
of
on
the
the way to
dragon.
Little
While you're
Mermaid
frightened,
yesterday
you have
that
disadvantage on ability
what
checks
should
and
I do?
attack
And I was saying I
rolls, and
probably
you
will
cannot
do
really move
Yellowstone.
closer
But
to
then
the
Jesse and Lauren were both, I think
Trinket
Lauren was
frightened?
agreeing, but Jesse definitely was saying
roll
you
for
should
Trinket.
definitely do Black Sails. And I keep saying I want to do Black Sails too.
Come on, drink it.
But I'm like, I've been dying to get into Yellowstone. Like, I'm so confident that Black Sails is going to be phenomenal that it's almost like I could wait longer because I'm like, so many people have told me it's epic that I'm like, I'm assuming it will be. Yellowstone,
all of a sudden also
I assume is very
backs up a
good
little bit,
too,
is looking-
but it's
is equally
more,
frightened, especially
I
seeing
feel
you
like what
scared,
I
Trinket
want to
feels a
watch
moment
right
of-
now
of
because I just like
fear.
the theme of the Western, and Kevin Costner's always great and those kind of things.
What?
I know Harrison Ford at a point is in 1928 or whatever the heck it's
I
called.
missed something.
Not the dragon.
No,
Although
yeah,
probably
But-
the dragon too.
Probably.
I don't
Fangs
know.
then.
I started second guessing it. I was like,
Flies
maybe
up
I
into
will
the
do
air
Black
for a
Sails.
minute.
I don't know. A winery
then
sound like work
swoops over
away from work?
and lands over on
A
this side. and
winery
that's
sounds
going
like...
to
Oh,
end
a
its turn.
winery sounds. I
That
miss you
brings us
guys.
to
Sorry,
Grog.
I've been MIA. I got a new job at a winery.
Yeah, you're
No, I'm
scared.
off today.
I mean, you could choose
So,
to...
Michelle, are you like totally gone from the other place? Or are you working at both places now? I know you were saying that like it wasn't looking good because she set you up. But
So
I
you
wasn't sure
reach
if
into
you were
yourself
still doing
and
both or
suddenly you
juggling
realize
it, or you're like,
this
nope,
is it.
we
you know
out.
dragons. You fought dragons in the past. You've killed dragons in the past, and you know dragons have been responsible for hurting some of your friends or their families. And through that anger just billows up from inside, and that fear shakes from your body. And
Look at Travis.
Dragon like my friend Pug did.
you're now in a rage. You shake the fear effect, and you can take the rest of your turn. However you
Yes.
see fit. Yes.
Well, I would like to run.
I would like to, Jay. You could do
over
Yellowstone in
that direction.
chrono
Running away
order,
from
What?
but I'll do Black Sails if you do.
You rage.
But I'll do
Alright.
Black
I
Sails.
ran enraged.
All right. Cool.
Do I have? Can I attack?
Have you ever
You're
watched
currently
Black
hiding
Sails,
behind a 15-foot
Michael?
platform.
I was just
Okay,
rereading
so you know
everything.
that.
You can't see
That's
anything.
fine.
Marion,
Literally hiding behind the
congratulations.
dragon right now.
Cool.
Cool.
Jay, you could do Yellowstone
that
in
makes your turn?
what is
Sorry.
in chronological order? Is it something that could be watched like that? Like I know a lot of people that haven't seen Star Wars do that, and it's like a totally different experience because you know who Anakin is
Grog, make an dexterity saving
before
throw.
Luke exposes him, and you do not want us
13?
exposing ourselves.
13.
But
Oh no.
What was that for?
yes,
Oh,
I really don't
Just
care how I
barely-
watch it.
as you're running
Well,
through, all of a sudden
how
the
isn't there like an
force comes out underneath you and you roll off
1833
to
or
the
something
side,
like
almost
that?
fall in, catching
I feel
yourself.
like there's like an
You slide down
1833.
into a pit.
Radiators
That means you
Unite
get your hand
for
hold on a
Ninja
piece of
Master.
stone
I've
that's sticking out
never
of the rock.
seen
Pull
Black
yourself
Sails,
up.
but it's on my list.
You're
So your
where
advice
you
is
were in the
invest
ground is
in
a
wine.
cracked piece of ice,
Yes,
a pit in the
I know
ground.
people that do that too. That one's crazy.
But you're
How
fit.
earlier I was
You're
talking
back up to your
about.
feet.
I don't
That's
like
really
to
bad.
invest
About
in
15
things
feet
that
down into
could
these jagged shards of
break
ice.
or deteriorate or something. I know people that invest in wine
You also have
and
no light
have
source.
like
You're
these
as far back in the
temperature
darkness.
controlled
Light source is
coolers
not now. Actually, you
or
have
like
Grog around you
cellars
right now, and you have Zara.
where
I
like
still
a
have-
bottle of wine could be like
fine.
thousands, if
Alright,
not tens
that
of
brings us
thousands of
to,
dollars.
Zara.
And like
Okay.
I'm thinking, oh my god, that would I would get so much anxiety. Like you'd have to have it on a backup generator. God forbid the power went out, so obviously they have backup generators and stuff because you'd lose so much money. But I'm always like, oh my god, like I could never invest or collect in something like that. I would always think like, what if somebody accidentally? I mean, it'd be really hard. But what if like someone broke in your house and drank it, or some idiot went into your wine cellar and was like, oh, I bet you this tastes delicious. And I don't know, it just sounds horrible. Yellowstone has 3 timelines, I think. From what I remember, there's like a 1920s one, an 1880s one, maybe 1830s, and then like, however, I guess the current day, modern day. But is it better, or is it, first off, is it okay to watch out of order?
All right. So
Is it going to be like confusing?
So
Did
go
the
ahead
show
and
set
roll
it up
damage
where
for me.
like you could do that and it would be like a different
times,
experience,
do math for me,
or
somebody.
it would like things not make a whole lot of sense
What is that?
out of order? Like you're supposed to know things that happen in the future to understand the past kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. 7.
But Radiators Unite.
That's 4.
Yeah. 3 plus 4 is
12.
19. 26.
12.
38.
Ooh, nice.
Plus
38
one more.
plus 2.
Did I
No,
get
that's
one
all
more?
5.
You did.
That's 5?
It's 5, and you had 1d6 to that because of your hex.
Plus
Yes.
2, so 38 is
40.
38 plus
40.
1d6. Oh,
1.
okay, so 41 points.
41 points
Wait,
of
plus
hex.
2 damage to all of
Plus
them.
2
Oh,
hex,
well,
that's already
I don't know if it was all
okay.
hex damage, but it was good.
Okay, so
It was a solid
after
hit,
you hex
everybody.
it, you'd see the shadows around the dragon begin to form and coalesce around its torso, and as it kind of looks around,
She's pretty
these small
badass.
demonic faces that kind of
But we've
cackle as
seen
the
her
moonlight
and
begin to pierce through and these
Cash
globes
before.
kind of
We've
choke
talked about
around
this
its
last
neck, and
live
as it
stream.
tries to shake it off, you bring your
She's
staff
definitely
forward,
got some
and this bolt
badass,
of,
crazy
bluish,
abilities.
green,
I
electrical
dig it.
energy kind of shakes out
Can
in
you
what looks like
dig
a
it?
piercing arc of jagged moonlight that strikes right into the center of the dragon's chest. As it does, the dragon's nearly pushed off its feet for a second, gathers itself, and you can see that energy just surrounds it like magical shackles and continues to keep its hold on the creature, as Witchbolt is.
As
does.
it will. As it will.
As
All right.
you
Do
will.
you wish to move or are you gonna stay?
As you will. Bottles of wine from the Titanic sell for
30 feet, 6
millions.
squares.
But like
I'd
it can't
like
be
to go
drinkable, right?
stand
At that
by
point, if they were from the Titanic, I feel like they'd have to be
You're already there.
tainted.
I'm already there. Oh.
So in
right
that
here.
case, it's
Alright,
more
so
so
I'll-
just
I'll be
the fact that
they're
it's from the
right there.
Titanic and not about the quality of the wine.
No.
I can't imagine
Blinding flames as we
it would still be okay.
I'm there.
Like
Yep.
in my basement,
like to move
I
to
have
the
2 bottles of
slight
wine in my
cover of
basement
the
that I got on a
pedestal.
job
4, 5, 6,
that
you
were
can get
not
that far.
properly
Okay.
All right, so you are-
stored. I did a
and
job,
these are
and
scaling
it was
up.
like I think like it was some
My
guy and his
eyes
parents
begin to
passed
change
away,
to a
and they had a
dark
wine
shade.
cellar, but it was like a horribly maintained wine cellar.
As I
And
turn
I remember
my
looking
gaze
up these
to
2
the
bottles,
dragon
and they were
and
like
cast
$1,000
eyebite on him.
bottle, like they're identical bottles,
Eyebite.
but they're like
All right, and how are you
$1,000 a
having
bottle.
this effect? What's your
I would like to
And
sicken
they were in
him.
like perfect
Give him a little
condition,
tummy
but they were in like an
gonna do the twirl?
temperature control. It was like they were just sitting in like a basement for God knows how long, and everything was already dusty, and it was 100% not temperature controlled. So I'm like, there's no way this wine is still good.
All right, what's the DC on that now?
Now I
Tony?
know it's like $1,000 bottle of wine,
19.
but I'm sure it has like
that
0 value if it is
fail. It's going to use
not drinkable, or is it like still got value because people would want to like display it? Like you can't drink that, but you can display it, and wine drinkers will know that's like $1,000 bottle of wine. They're still in my basement. I have them in my basement, and I know they're like ridiculously expensive. But like, I mean, at this point, they're definitely not drinkable because I've had them for probably 15, 20 years.
Combine it in middle air.
And when I got them, they were old and dusty.
Shouts. You instinctively pull back, and as you do, the spell kind of drifts away from you, and you realize the incantation's lost.
Heat and light
Percy,
mess
use
up
your badass
wine.
motherfucker feet to have it work.
It has to be stored
Okay.
a certain way, I think.
as-
Yeah, like
Can I
somebody
throw
told me
with a
once. One of
bonus
my
action?
friends used to do this, like
what do you
for investments, and they have to be like at a certain angle, like
Probably
literally,
more of an action.
like they have special racks where you keep it at. I mean, I'm
Then
just.
I will,
I'm not being
move a
accurate.
few
It was
steps
something like they got to be at
away.
like
I
a
can still move and
60
stuff, right?
degree
I'd
angle,
like to move away from
resting
this group
like
of soon-to-be
a foot
blasted
apart
with
from each
dragon
other
fire people.
with the corks.
just
You have to
a
spin the
few-
bottles.
a few
I
yards
feel like
away to
every
my
like
left.
Right,
couple
1, 2,
days
3,
or every
4.
couple weeks,
that's fine.
you have to
Sure, yeah,
spin the
that's great.
bottles so they don't rest. And the sediment
give
don't
some
like everything
inspiration
just
to
doesn't
Lyra.
settle. You have to constantly spin the
runs back and
bottles.
turns to you.
I remember
I'll say,
one of my friends. We got drunk one night and he had a crazy wine cellar. And he was telling me like, yeah, like I get he has a glass of wine and he like goes around and he spins all the bottles and he like he checks on it. But like to him it was like an art.
Getting close to clutching
Like
your heart
fine
and giving
wine
you
was
every
like an
sort of
art to
instinct
him,
run
and
from
all
this.
he did was drink
you hear
wine.
The name Aldor,
He would-
and
he would
feel
have
that
wine
surge of
and
warmth fill your body,
tequila.
and they need to
Or
push
not
on forward.
tequila,
Go ahead
gin.
and take a D10 inspiration.
He would always have wine and gin, and he was my age, and he drank like an old man.
all
Yeah,
right.
ever since
That
we
ends
were
your turn,
kids,
Scanlan.
we were
Now the
like
giant's go. This
teenagers
one
in our
is
20s, and he would literally, because his parents were filthy rich,
of the dragon. It's
and he would literally just have a
bad
glass
idea.
of
It's really
wine
regretting its
or
decision.
like a
It's gonna
gin and
shake the
tonic.
effect.
That's all he
and
ever
that's
had.
Come on, tight. The other one is going to step.
It might be
over
good.
into you.
Still,
Actually, like, all
most
of a sudden, his
basements
foot goes
are cold enough.
in front of you.
I
and
mean,
goes,
I don't know, because this thing has been through all over 15 years. It's been through like heat waves and moist, and my area specifically, because I live kind of like in a mountainy terrain, is very like a ton of moisture. We have so much trouble. Like we have dehumidifiers everywhere, and moisture is a huge problem where I live.
Makes 2 strikes to the dragon, and it kind of dodges out
Which
of the way.
friend
Second
was
one
this
reaches up
Aji?
with its claw and slashes,
My
buries
friend
its axe
Aji
out of the
growing
way
up.
and just glares
I
at
don't
it, and
believe
can
you
see that
ever
one
met
with the
him,
giant also,
Michelle.
so it's like,
Oh, come on, Giant. Come on,
that ends their
Ace.
turn. Lyra, you're up.
All right,
What?
Lyra. All right.
Finally me?
This is
All
it.
right, so I am gonna get my big spell
Is he
out.
single?
Now, can I
LOL.
try
He
to
is
swing
not.
and try to
He
disintegrate,
actually he might be.
Can I try?
I know he had a
cut
kid,
swing off?
and I think
You
he
know what,
might
yeah,
have
if you wanna roll
married
attack,
the
it's,
girl
it's going to be
who he had the
disadvantage
kid
on the
with.
attack roll.
I'm not 100%
what's
sure
that?
on that. I just remember he had a
Roll twice, you
kid,
get the lower number.
and I
But,
feel
mean,
like
does disintegrate have?
It doesn't
they
have
were
a DC.
very
Then it would have
happy and
advantage
things were
on the
not.
saving throw.
Oh, okay.
The
No,
things
I'm
were
just gonna
going
try
well.
Okay.
So I don't know. I haven't really talked to him. I've lost
Sorry.
touch.
I'm like, I just did this and it looked amazing.
That's all I know about wine. Corks
What are you doing?
up is
I'm doing
bad.
disintegrate.
Okay.
Shoelaces out.
D6 plus.
It might be
a
good.
10
It's still most
plus
bases,
40,
blah, blah, blah.
right?
Oh,
So
yeah, I
that's
remember you
one.
talking about him.
It's not the best.
Hey,
roll
Marion,
as
some of us are single
small
and would like
Yeah, it's only got plus 40.
to know, and would like to know.
Plus
Yeah.
what, 4D?
Four,
so
4-0.
Yeah,
The,
it's 10d6 plus 40.
Yeah, my friend Aji was probably,
I need to get alone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, he might be the richest person I've ever known
Plus 40.
in my actual
All right, that's
life.
79 points of damage.
Family's
What's the
probably
DC
worth like
of 17
$100
on that?
million. Known him since I was in like
Yeah, yes.
kindergarten.
All right.
He
It
would
does
have
make
like
it so
parties
half damage, but rounding up
at
to
his
40
house
damage,
like
so
on a
40 force
weekly
damage to the
basis.
dragon.
There'd be like
As you-
70 to 100
you-
people.
With the
On like a
swelling of
weekly
energy that
basis,
Scanline gave your
he
mind,
would
it allowed you to
hire
release, and once again,
hibachi
that
chefs
sickeningly green,
to cook outside
beam
because he
of
had like
energy
crazy
streaks out,
outdoor
splits
grill
the dragon,
areas,
and with a
and he would
burst of
literally
arcane
hire
energy,
like
you can see
hibachi
part of its
chefs.
scales have
He would have like
withered,
people
part
walking
of its
around with like
wing kind of
sushi
is now tattered,
platters.
missing, and immediately
He had like
physical form of the dragon
extravagant
is
fish
writhing in
tanks,
pain.
and he would have a guy come and like
Aim at that
maintain
area
and
that
clean the
doesn't have
tanks, and it would be like a show, like you saw at like SeaWorld
But
or
you still got the
something.
witch bolt, like
On a
wrapping
minier
around
scale,
him,
but,
yeah,
like,
so
That
crazy.
is focused.
Super
That
rich.
ends
Definitely
the
wanna
race at the top of
move.
the round.
I will
Definitely wanna
not
move.
deny that was one
I
of
wanna
the
move over there. behind
cooler
that
moments of
over
my
here.
3, 4, 5, 6.
early adult life.
Okay.
A little less.
He would just be like,
Alrighty.
whatever you want.
Could have taken cover.
He had like
Cool.
literally at his driveway, he
That
had
will
like
be top of the round.
Lamborghini,
Percy, you're up.
Austin Martin, Ferrari,
Still no hand
Hummers,
grenade.
Escalades. He'd just be like, hey, could you run to the store? Take any car you want. It was like almost something out
What
of
do
a
I do
movie.
to shake the fear?
Any car you
At
want.
the end of your turn,
If you run to the store and do me a favor.
Okay.
And you just like jump in a convertible Maserati and go to the store to get like milk or something.
Okay, I'm gonna try and take a
It was
just
ridiculous.
a
It wasn't
shot
my
at
money.
with
It was
with
crazy, filthy rich
just a
people.
standard
But
shot.
he was a very good friend of mine.
So, you have to take it because you've shot reloaded, shot reloaded.
Earned or it was
shot.
in his case it was inheritance. I don't know in his parents' case,
17.
but
Wait,
his
with
they
disadvantage.
were filthy rich since I knew like him. We met in kindergarten, and he was filthy rich in kindergarten.
So total of 17.
So I don't
As
know
you
if
fire,
his parents
it
were,
would have hit,
but it was
unfortunately,
definitely
streaks through a portion
inheritance
of
for
the
him.
wing that
But I mean, I
currently
think
is left
as
gaping
far as I
hole
know,
into
his
this
parents were still
disintegrating
alive.
skull.
It's just he's employed by the company.
The impact of
And
the-
I'm
the
sure
bullet
has his
itself
own
blasting
company
against
at
the
this
back
point.
wall, sending
So
chunks
he's
and
like,
shards of ice
at this point, I guess he's a
I would like to
multi-millionaire
Really
himself.
quickly then
But
go into that little corner.
his
there
parents
and cover.
have a lot
All right.
of money. I remember he's Indian, and he would be like, "Hey, you want to come to
Cool.
India
That
with
ends
me?"
your turn. Vex, you're up
Every
next.
year for like a month or two, he would go back
Oh, I
to
didn't
India,
roll to shake off
and he
the
would be
fear.
like, "We have like a
Go ahead and
palace
make a save.
there.
This is a wizard.
We have like dozens of cars. He said I literally have like a harem of women.
Yeah.
I have like a harem of women that are like
dragon,
willingly wanting to do anything I ask. And, well, like anything goes. Cars everywhere,
Right
filthy
now, no,
rich. He
you have-
goes,
you can
we
see,
like
like, parts of the
every
wings
night go
kinda
out to
fluttering over, but
clubs.
it's- you don't
You
have
spend
a
like
very good
$100 and you like are like treated like you're royalty. This is back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
You can try to
But
has 3/4 covered. So it's
literally
plus-
lived like a
plus
prince.
And I would disadvantage.
His family was like
Does it
stupid
seem
rich.
Like if I cast
Cheers
something that would
To
do
Marion Ravenwood. This is to
mass
Marion Ravenwood on her
damage,
new
would
job
I- would
and
the
moving
giant
on
then
with new
not wanna attack
life
with us
choices
anymore?
and everything else, the
That's a
winery
risk
and all
you
that
have
good
to
stuff.
take.
Cheers.
Drop some stank.
I love my boyfriend, but I need a rich sugar daddy. I just saw that. Obviously,
I'm
Marion's
scared
joking.
hit
Cheers
the
to Marion.
giant with it. I'm, because I want to do Conjure Barrage, but I'm afraid of the giant.
Well, if you do damage to him, the spell breaks.
Exactly. So that would be that.
But he's not fighting for us because of a spell right now. We convinced him.
I know I went way over what I said I'd do,
Potentially.
but Marion
Or we
jumped
could turn
in.
around and start-
We're having a good old chat, so we're gonna keep rolling with this. We're gonna
Stone
go.
face.
I think it said 355 is when it ends.
No.
Still
So let's do
If we damage it.
another 10 minutes. How about that, everybody? How about them apples? We'll almost do a bonus 30 minutes. Even though we didn't hit the 50 likes,
So
we're
what's
going to
the first
do
range
a
of
bonus
movement
30
on the
minutes.
longbow?
More or less, because I was supposed to stop around
Yeah,
210.
yeah. So you're not
We're going to go to
disadvantaged in that shot. However, it does have 3/4
235.
covered.
So we're going to do an extra 25
and
minutes,
in that circumstance,
almost an
yeah,
extra
right.
30. I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, if we got to go to 355, our
Does not
Patreon,
defeat the
I don't want to do like a 45-minute
Yeah,
YouTube
plus
video.
5 bonus to AC.
So based on the fact
So
that
go
we're
for
having a
both
good
of these
time,
ones.
and I don't understand the point of doing a 40. Like, what's the point of doing a 45-minute YouTube video? Might as well sit here and have a good old time chatting with you all
You pull back and release
and
the first
watching
arrow,
it together,
actually
right?
just
Am I
barely
right?
scrapes
Or am
the
I
top of the
right?
platform,
Right.
and, and shatters
Right.
across the
Again,
ice.
you guys.
Come on.
So
That's better.
things to remember, Michael. If I
27,
don't
even
text
with the
you,
quarters covered by
remind
stick, go ahead and
remind
roll
me
damage.
to text you. Text me to text you, Michael, if I forget later, because I want to know more about the Final Fantasy cards. Because I was gonna
13, 14,
talk to my other
plus
friend
D6,
that I told you
that's
about, my friend from the arcade, to see. But I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna say there's no way I could get you cards,
That's not even
especially
close
since
to 40,
it comes
but,
out like
you know.
next
No,
week,
but it's
and
still damage. So
I
as you
haven't
release the
even
arrow,
mentioned it yet.
just misses the top of the platform, and you get just
extra
enough of an
time.
angle.
I don't know.
that
Michael probably
hits
said
one of
earlier.
the
Michael,
wings,
what
pulls
is
it
the
up,
date of
sticks
release
into part of its- it kind of
for
tucks its hand
Final
and cuts
Fantasy?
the
I
top
know
of
I
the
keep
wing.
reiterating, or not reiterating. I keep re-asking questions, but
Do you or Trinket wish to move?
I can't remember. I know it's like the first or second week of June. It's very soon
Yeah.
because
And I can't
tomorrow
move
is the
any
last
closer.
week
True,
of,
so now,
or the last day
you
of
and
May.
Trinket both make
The
roll wisdom
when
saving
my
throws
phone
to
went
try and
off
shake the
before,
fear.
30 days
Here we
September,
go.
April, June.
Oh, and you were frightened.
Tomorrow is
Just
the last day of
actually
May.
roll again on the
My
attack.
phone just went off,
This is disadvantage
and it
on
was
the
like
attacks.
all of your interest has been paid
Roll again.
on your
Roll
accounts,
again.
and I'm like, that usually happens on the last day of the
Right.
month, and it happened. It's not even like it wasn't even 8 o'clock on.
Okay.
I guess because the weekend's coming. I don't know. All I know is we are approaching June, everybody.
No, 20.
So
June is coming.
Oh, the total on 20 for the second
20.
roll?
By the way, I was
Well, that
so
would hit then.
Okay.
Well, no, she
mad.
works
I don't
for
think I
the
talked
first one,
about this. Oh,
unfortunately.
I couldn't have.
So you think you
My
did.
intentions were.
You were frightened.
I tell you guys all the time.
People
One of the
felt-
major stocks I always dabble in is
So
AMC,
the
movies,
arrow
theaters.
splinters off the top of the wing.
I
reaches
love
upward and
it because it's a cheap stock.
you
It
still feel
always
the
fluctuates,
fear
but it always
clutching
at some
your
point goes
physical
really
self.
high. At some point, you could sell it off
Now you're trying
if
to
you
break
want to pull out your profits. I love the stock, and right before Memorial Day weekend, I was like, I gotta buy a shitload of AMC because it's at an all-time low.
What is the-
And I feel like
That would be
a
no,
Lilo
sorry.
Stitch
Drink it.
and Mission Impossible week on Memorial Day. I'm like, I feel like it's gonna have a crazy weekend. It broke every record
So while
for
you're still
Memorial Day
scared, you
weekend.
look over and
Butts
you
in the
see
seat,
Trinket kind of shakes
amount
off
of money
Trinket, looks over
made,
her shoulder
all
at
these
you, and
records
gives
it
you a nod
broke
of, like,
for movie theaters. Memorial Day weekend, and on Monday the stock doubled.
Giant.
And I was like it went up like
growling,
legitimately
shouting,
like
dragon,
50 or 60%.
Do you wish to?
And I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot to buy the stock. Like in my head, it just slipped my mind. And I was legitimately gonna buy like 2,000 or 3,000 shares. Cause like it's a cheap enough stock where for like $10,000 you could buy like 3,000 shares. So I was gonna buy about $10,000 worth. I would have doubled my money. I would have made like $10,000. And I totally forgot. And then I'm like, maybe Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch will flop. Maybe it'll be a
But it's
huge
not over in a cluster of other people.
failure. And instead it broke
so your turn?
records and the stock doubled
Rhinefang, who's
over the
currently
weekend.
has this giant
I was so
face.
mad. I track it all the time, and I'm like, the
Angrily
biggest
decides to
increase in a
instead-
day I can remember, and I wasn't part of
As
it.
a legendary action, at the
Miserable.
end of your turn, actually,
Oh, God, this is legendary.
instead of before it takes its
Oh,
turn,
God,
as you
legendary.
misfire and the thing goes running
They
along,
probably did
it's
it
gonna go
early
ahead and
because of the
use one
weekend,
its
like you
legendary
were
actions to
saying.
wing attack
My store gets them the
against
13th.
the giant in front of it.
But Wizards Early Access gets them the 6th. That's what I thought I saw. I thought I saw the 6th and the 13th, but I didn't know which was right.
He told me telepathically that his name
Nice extra time, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my store gets them the 13th,
Remember, this
but
is Dragon,
Wizards...
your favorite enemy.
So what does that mean, Michael? How do you get early access? How do you get Wizards Early Access?
No, I
You
don't.
order
I
them
looked
from
it up
Wizards
today, yo.
direct?
I don't get shit on attacks for him because we transferred over from Pathfinder.
Oh no.
All I can do
Double
is
check
talk
your-
to
The
him.
chat keeps yelling at the favorite enemy.
Well, chat, I looked it up.
Baby
And I don't
France
think I
is the
had
first Arcadian baby.
That's true, chat. You're wrong.
Baby France. You're wrong, Chad. Look at Matt. Matt just made them look stupid. But we still need a coupling and a wedding. I love my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. I read all this. And it's dragon fighting time. Was kind of disappointed by the new Mission Impossible. Sean M., we were talking about it before you jumped in. How every movie I usually see opening night,
The chat.
for like the last couple months, I've been back in movie mode. I've been every, like, Final Destination, Sinners. Like for the last couple weeks, maybe couple months, Thunderbolts. I've seen all of these major movies
Not all of them.
day one. Mission Impossible was my most anticipated movie of all, and I still haven't seen it because I heard so many bad reviews that I'm like, I'm still gonna see it. It's not like I'm like I don't want to see it now. I just see no point in rushing now because
it's trying to do a wing attack against the giant.
I am discouraged. I'm discouraged now.
Oh, dexterity saving throw.
He's dead.
Does not. Giant is
He's
not
deadless.
prone. From the wings.
Frost Giant
blocking
is
the wind
down.
as it takes off.
We have a Frost
knocking
Giant
the back
down.
and dealing
Coco's over here.
13 points of bludgeoning damage. The dragon then
You want to come up and say hi?
It needs to be from us.
You want to say hi?
and lands right there
Oh no.
and rears back its head.
Here we go. Sorry.
And unleashes a torrent
Sorry.
of freezing cold
Say
dragon's
hi to the
breath.
people.
Really glad I'm
That is
standing right
A
there.
60-foot cone. This will be. It can only really hit these guys. It's going to hit the giant. It's going to hit Lyra, and it's going to hit
Who's
Percy.
this little baby
Do I not
kitty?
have some cover?
Who's
Not
this little
against
baby
dragon's breath,
kitty?
unfortunately. So I need both of you guys
Look
to
at your
go ahead
face.
and make a
Look at your face.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, you
From
make
the
it.
sheer
She's like trying to get out.
That
giant.
didn't go well for
I've
me.
locked her in with me. She is my prisoner. You're my prisoner forever.
Do I get it? No, it's damage.
20.
Wait. She gets my inspiration on this throw on this save.
She chooses to use it, yes.
Inspiration
Yes, I
on this.
definitely want to use it. So I
Okay,
get to.
so add a d10 to what you roll.
Coco, you want to come over here? You want to go on your
Thank
tree?
God,
Come here, we'll
because
go on your
that's
tree.
a 21.
Come on.
21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You both
Not
succeed. All right. So both of you take half of
She
the
just gets like
64 damage
sucked
it
in
would
like a
have dealt.
vacuum. Oh, that's right. Marion's in. Marion, I like totally. I'm like,
27 points of cold
I saw
damage.
Coco on the ground, and I was like, oh, I
The
must
giant
snag
that had been
her.
partially
Yes, Coco.
disintegrated before by
Right.
Lyra
And
now
powerful
takes
Coco.
the brunt of the frozen damage, and you can now see the ice begins to build up
The
around
great
it
and
as it's-
powerful Coco.
and gurgles as its life's blood is now still
Not
while
good,
frozen
everybody.
In place,
Not good.
the ice around its physical form, holding it there as a statue of death. The giant is no
Statue of Death. Nice pussy. Such a good kitty. My princess.
Go get his axe. It's really big.
I want to see. It's a little delayed up here. I want to see what it looked like when I.
more. All right, and that
I don't think you guys can
is,
see it on
Right Bear's
camera.
turn. Grog, you're
I
up.
like swung the chair to hold her
from
because sometimes
whence I
she
came to
panics
attack
when
this right
there's
flank
movement
if I
on
could.
the chair. So I hold her
You will
and I
have to
spun,
make-
and
Actually,
she
you
like
can do
as
that.
soon as she
Dog vision
grabbed
of
the
60
tree
feet.
behind me, she like sucked herself into the
rush up
hole, and it looked ridiculous.
towards
But
the
you couldn't
dragon.
really see it on camera.
Take my firebrand warhammer.
Like and subscribe if you haven't,
Uh,
everybody.
activate
We'll
it.
probably do one more shot.
Ignite it.
As a
We
bonus
did
action.
way
Well, there's
more
already
than
been
I
ignited.
thought we
You had a
would, but I
flame
think
before.
this will work
Yeah,
out
it's like
nice.
a torch.
Like I said,
Yeah.
3:55 is where
I'd like to go into a
the
frenzy
content
rage.
stops and the outro begins.
Start swinging away.
We'll have an hour for
Alright,
Patreon,
so
we'll
3
have 20
attacks
minutes
on
for
the big old
YouTube.
dragon.
Voxo clock time will be
19?
20 minutes.
19 does
So we'll
hit.
do another
Beautiful.
couple. Maybe we'll
25?
keep going. Maybe I'll just keep smoking this
And a 23.
vape. How many of you want me to keep smoking this vape and taking shots and watching the whole episode? How many of you want that?
D10 plus 5.
If we get 72 thumbs up to do that, then I'll watch the whole thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pour another shot. We're gonna at
You're hitting
least
with
do
weapons,
one more
obviously, it's a
shot.
great act.
Like the
Right.
video
But
if
do
you
additional
haven't.
1d6 fire damage.
We're gonna at least do one more shot. I want to see Frost Giant has been taken down.
Okay.
We're pouring a shot here, everybody. If you're new in the chat, say what's up. You get this shot dedicated to
Plus 8 to what
you.
you roll on both.
Shot
you
dedicated
threw a bunch of numbers at
to
me.
you if you
A d10 and a d6.
are in the
plus
chat
8.
and you're new. If not, I'll pick someone at random.
So
19.
19
Did I do
damage.
that 3 times? Yeah. Oh, wow.
I kind of like. I honestly want to keep watching. But the funny thing is, I was like, we're gonna have way too long of a Vox o'clock.
Oh, that's good.
At a point,
16
we're gonna
plus-
not have one. At a point, we're gonna. At this point, we're down to about 20 minutes.
As you bring the warhammer down, it smacks the side of the dragon. The flames all of a sudden burst off.
See, my thing is, I hate ending a battle like this in the Patreon hour, and at this point, I can't help but assume that in the next hour, this battle's gonna be done. I can't see this going over another hour.
The actual force from the
So,
impact kind of almost sending it to catch
but then
itself on
again,
the other side of its body.
doing an
Its
extra
head
5 or
swings
10
around
minutes
to look
isn't
at
gonna
whoever's
help
slamming it
either.
on the side as you bring the hammer back,
Some more.
swing underneath, and then
Want
hit it from
some
underneath the bottom of
more?
its torso, right where its ribs would be, with a crack sound. Did it a third time, leaving a second giant charred mark where the warhammer made impact.
Nice.
I love Travis's
Your turn?
enthusiasm.
All right, you're up.
Travis has some great
All right,
enthusiastic
excellent.
faces.
You do.
And it's still
He
going,
makes
yes?
me love
So,
life.
You don't have to
Travis
roll attack
does
again. You
that.
just
Travis
use your
I
action.
makes
just
me love
fucking
life.
keep going.
Yeah, do it.
Fucking witch
Do
bolt.
it.
Can I use a cantrip, or will that dispel the witch bolt?
No, because most cantrips take an action, so you would not be able to. It's just
And the
witch bolt is
cat's
your action.
nice also. Are we going a full episode? Vero
Almost all
J.
cantrips are actions.
If we get 72 thumbs
so
up,
you'd be
we
like,
will.
either use
That
your
was the
action to
deal.
witch bolt
72
or
thumbs
use a
up.
cantrip.
I honestly
No, I'm gonna
don't
stick with the witch bolt.
know.
All right.
We should have
I'm very
stopped
happy
already,
with
but I'm
this.
So you focus it
like
again, your eyes
Coco
still
is
glow,
freaking out a
glowing
little
that
bit.
strange kind of,
I'm gonna do
midnight
5 more
moon
minutes, all right?
color
We're
with
gonna do
a
5 more
black
minutes.
smoke that's framing the side of
Everybody,
it.
who
Take your staff and
should we do the
force
final
your will
shot
through
for?
it.
That's what
Once
we got to
again,
decide in the
that
next 5
connection
minutes.
between the dragon
Is
and
anybody
that
new in
weird
the chat? If
swirling,
anybody's new in the chat,
greenish blue energy that surrounds the dragon.
shout
connects with your
out.
staff,
If
and as it
not,
does, it sends another
what
bolt
or who do we
of,
take the final shot for?
otherworldly
We're gonna
energy
stop at
careening
240
into the side of the dragon
because
for roll damage.
it's at a point now where I can't imagine this battle
I
ends
watch her with a mouth agape.
anytime soon, but I also don't think it's going to last an hour, which means it is very likely this battle is going to end at the Patreon hour. So
12?
I would hang on a little longer if I thought it was going to end sooner.
19.
I just feel like this is going to be a very long, drawn-out thing. And Coco is banging on the door because she is a princess,
And one
right,
more?
Coco?
That was 5. That was 5, and you roll 1d6 on
I
top
wish
of
I
that.
had
37.
treats. I should bring
Plus
treats in
2
here from
on
now.
that.
Right, so 38, and then a d6 from your hex.
Final shot for Coco. For Coco.
So,
Final
44
shot for
points again.
Coco. All right, we're gonna do the final shot for Coco.
As it,
But
once
for
again, like a giant
Holly
piece
Max
of the dragon
Coco.
scales kind of shatter off the side.
This is
like
for
you're cracking
Holly
into the
Max
center of an
Coco.
icy, mountainous crag side.
The
it's
final shot will
starting
go
show
to
a
the
little bit of
passing
damage. It's
of
you guys
Holly
are
Max
definitely
Coco.
taking this battle head on.
It is
pretty
Coco
well
with
so far.
2
I like the way
Ks.
you said that.
So cheers to the great
You're gonna stay where you
Coco.
are. You're gonna move.
And
How close am I to
we're
it?
gonna have
You're
like 2 more
currently
minutes,
20 feet away
everybody.
from the dragon.
Cheers.
15 is
Like if
the
you
closest
haven't,
to you.
subscribe.
All right, I continue. I stay within 30 feet of it,
All right. So you want to move this way, or
putting it
back
up
here?
to the heavens. I can. Oh, sorry, I got you. I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm
Coco
gonna
is like,
move,
I love when
backwards.
I'm like always wondering what's in the mind of
There you go.
Coco.
All right. That ends,
Like right now, she's
Zara's
like
turn.
looking up at
Scanlan,
me,
you're
just
up.
going like meow,
How close am
meow,
I?
meow,
You are
meow,
currently
and I'm
about
like,
20 feet away
is she
from the
just
dragon.
wanting attention? Because she has been in this room. I mean,
all right, yes,
it's
hi.
barely 2.5
Scanlan.
hours because I
I'll
set
do,
it up and then got
I'll
her.
do, it's big, big
So 2.5
fan.
hours.
Big
She's been in here
fan.
way longer.
Come on, I'll just.
But then, like, I'm like,
punch him
maybe
in
she
the
has got to
dragon
use the
face.
bathroom. Maybe she wants
You
to
do a quick little hand gesture,
refill
kind of
her
come to yourself,
beer.
the arcane ritual.
Maybe
and,
she needs to
a
snap
very
open another
large,
Miller Lite.
Kind of mystical, see-through replica of your fist appears in the air above you and goes spinning off in the air in an arc. Straight up Popeye punching towards the dragon.
The Popeye punches. Popeye punches. Is that a? Oh, it's a little doggy.
Let's go ahead and
I thought that was an emoji of a chair.
Spell. Oh, what do you have to roll for that? That's.
I have to roll for that?
Let me see what the effects and that remind myself of that.
Oh, I have
Take
to
these
roll for
hands.
that.
This is the
So
first
Marion,
action.
is everything
20.
going well? I mean, I know you said I never saw your response. Whether or not I'm assuming you're not at the other place. I never saw the response. Whether or not you wrote it. So I'm assuming you're not at the other place. How you liking the winery? Everything
19.
sunshine and rainbows.
19.
You thinking about
Just barely hits as the fist goes
moving
slamming
back
on
to
the side of the
Jersey
dragon
and
face.
being
Big old
miserable
Popeye punch to
for
the
the
side of the
next
jaw.
20 years?
So go ahead and roll 4d8 points of force damage.
4d8. I'm taking yours.
Yeah.
I hope that's okay.
No, they're very lovely.
Taking yours.
10.
I love the
18,
Critical Role shirt.
18,
See his
21.
shirt? I don't know if
Plus
this is
something.
intentional, but Sam's Critical Role
the
shirt is
purple one's
reminding
nice.
me
It's
of the selection
Whack!
screen from
Soften the
Friday the
jaw.
13th
The hand kind of whips
NES
around again,
game,
praying for
the
the next
original
round.
NES
Do you
game,
want
when
to
you
use
pick your
anything to move,
counselor.
use bonus action?
That's what it's reminding me
I'm
of. Whether or
20
not
feet
it's
away.
You are.
that similar or not, I don't know.
will
It could just be. Did I get it? I think I got it. No, I didn't get it.
feet away from it.
It
and
looks
drop
like
that
it's
grenade.
something similar to that.
Okay, so you move forward right here.
Yeah, closer to it.
Okay. So the grenade
Closer
is right there on
to
the ground that Percy made. Ting, ting, ting. All right. And you stay where you are?
Can I keep
You
moving?
can keep moving.
Yeah, I am
moved,
just at the
you
winery.
moved
It's
18
great.
feet
It's
backwards,
called
or you-
Robert
I had to move closer to
Renzoni
it.
Right, so you
Winery.
move 3
What do
feet
you
to
do?
25 feet. Drop
Do you
yourself
do
22
like
feet
guided
below.
tours? I'm being
Take cover.
completely
If I
serious.
leave, he's gonna
Do you
whack
actually
me.
like
No,
walk
no,
people
that goes
around in
far
guided
away.
tours or
He's in a certain
something?
range for him
Or
to
do
get to
you
Wait, how close did I put the grenade? to?
like?
You put the grenade. It's currently 18
I don't
feet
know.
away from you.
No, I
I don't
wanted
know
to
what you do at a
put it
winery.
2 feet away
Clean
from him.
the
Oh,
clean the
I
barrels.
see. There, that makes more sense.
It's intentional for game
So now
character
there
selection
is
in general.
a grenade
Right next to Grog.
on the ground, right there.
I can't really see.
You're burly.
You are right. You are there, right next to Grog. So yeah, you cannot move away
look
from
at
her
that.
without taking a swipe.
Would you look at that?
It's adorable.
Well, would you look at that? My
All right,
God,
yep.
has anybody seen that? The Would you look at that
All right, that
skit?
ends your turn.
If you have
Uh,
it, just go to
the
YouTube and type in
giant
Would you look
sphere
at
gets
that?
up.
I can't imagine it doesn't pop up in like the top
Let's move it
10
right.
selections.
That's enough to get there. It moves up behind, and it's going to make 2 of its axe swipes.
I serve food and wine and beer. Oh my God. All right, well then you're now my bestest friend again.
Hit.
Staplers.
Second
You were already
strike,
my friend.
13.
Now you're my bestest friend again. You serve. That's what you do.
Most useless giants.
I want all of it.
Apparently.
I want
But you know what?
I
It's
want
not
to
you
be
yet. It's a
served
good
food, wine, and beer.
All right,
All of
that
it.
brings it to
What kind of food are we talking?
Yes.
Better be
Can I
meat.
fireball
I
without
want
hitting anybody who's
ribs.
friendly?
I want
From
steak.
this point of view, it's going to be very difficult to pull that off. It's a 20-foot radius.
I
so
would
it's
have
gonna hit
called it
everything within
Amy's
that kind of a sphere.
Winehouse.
So
Oh my
it's gonna
God,
be-
Sean, you are a fantastic addition to the chat today. Amy's Winehouse. There's gotta be, right? Someone's probably done it. I mean that I know that's a joke, but
okay, so
somebody's
I
gotta
did
have
that.
done it. Amy's
I think I'm
Winehouse.
gonna
Come
try to-
on.
I'm going
Come
to cast
visit.
Gold Monster.
Well, how close is it to where you live, Marion?
Alrighty. So
How close is the winery? How far is your commute?
Your arcane thoughts
I know where you
around
live.
imagining this arcane
How
cage
far is the
that
commute
begins to form out of
from
the
your
ether around the
place?
dragon. These bars and tighten around it. The dragon rolls a 2 for its saving throw.
A 2 for its saving
Uses
throw.
legendary resistance to automatically succeed.
How many of those does he have?
He has one more. He has one more.
It's one more.
All
All right,
Piece of shit.
Dragon's got one more.
The cage tightens around it. The dragon just takes its wings and
Would you look at
fluffs
this?
it off, and the
It
arcane
makes
shatters
you
and disappears
just want to
into the air.
say,
Oh, I was gonna
would
be
you look at
impressive.
this?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Would
going to
would you look
get
at this?
the
It just makes you
A
want to
shot.
say, like,
Okay.
would you look
I'm
at
going to get as
this?
far as I can.
Would you look at this?
Yeah,
That's what he
thank
does.
you.
Go look at it. Go look at it.
Alrighty.
Go look at it. And then
Um,
say, would you look at this?
Good
When
to
you
know.
look at it.
All
Go
right,
do it.
that ends your turn. That brings us back to the top. Percy, you're up.
4 miles
Okay,
away.
I'm going to.
Do you run it, Michelle? Because
That
based on
grenade
all
is
your
sitting on top of me
marathons
right now,
and everything, you
Yeah.
might as well run to
The
work.
hamster, right?
That would be a
Good call, man.
back and I mean it would suck
Come
on the
on,
way
live it.
after a shift. Like
You
running
say
home
it's gonna
after a
hit
shift
you,
would probably
right?
suck. I remember
Yeah, but it's also gonna hit.
there was a period of time I didn't have a car when I worked at the arcade.
Attacks, by the way.
And I would
Even
run
if I
there,
attack
and
you,
half of it is
As long
uphill.
as it's within
Well, not
eyesight
half of it. I would say like a
Okay,
quarter
in
of
that
it
case,
is
I'm just gonna
uphill,
take a shot
but then
at
like
the
a
dragon.
quarter of it is downhill,
Okay.
and the rest is pretty flat.
I don't disadvantage
But it's
order.
about 4 miles from my house to the arcade. It's about 4 miles, and at one point I didn't have a car, and I would like
19.
jog it for
19,
exercise,
with disadvantage.
and I could do it
That's it.
in like about 45 minutes.
Hey, damn it.
With my work clothes on. With my work clothes on, I could do.
Oh, that's nice.
I could run
26
from my
points of
house
damage?
to the arcade about 4 miles.
damage, nice.
I want to say
Hey.
like if I was
Yeah.
really moving, I could do it in like under 40.
I have moments.
But I'm also pretty
And you reload
good
later, everyone, and
at running.
you
I was
can't
on
move
cross
into it.
country
You wish to
and
move at all.
track and stuff. But
No, I'm going to.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna
4
hold my
miles is like a
position.
nice.
Go back.
Before
3
the
to
end of your
4
turn,
miles
it's
is
gonna
like
use
the
third legendary
ideal
action.
amount
I
of
was about to say before I
distance
do
you'd
that,
want to
I'm going
go for like
I'm going to use
extreme
a bonus
cardio.
action to do a quick heal. I'm going to use.
I mean,
Oh,
extreme
second wind, go for
cardio,
it.
I say
So heal
lightly.
yourself to
Like,
the
obviously, you got
bonus
people that do
level.
marathons and stuff. To me, people that do marathons and stuff, that's like beyond extreme. That's like
Before your turn's
dedication,
over, it's gonna use its
dedicated
last
and
legendary
sad.
action to take its tail and swing around and whack it at the gnome that it heard sneak up behind it and drop.
I run before work. No, I'm
something
on
the
my
ground.
feet all
That's
day.
gonna be
Yeah,
a
and all
natural
of this is hills. My neighborhood and wine country is lots of hills.
It's
Yeah, I would recommend you not. Especially if you already work
What
out.
are you doing?
As long as you're finding
As
the
you
time to
drop
work
it, you look
out,
up and see its tail go.
I'm sure you're fine.
Whoa! But can I sing real quick?
It's a natural 20. There's no way you can avoid
Okay.
this hit.
no. Does he also
Maybe
hit
it'll
the
fling me
grenade
away
when he
from the
hits
grenade.
Scanlan?
Alright, the dragon has striketh.
30 36 points of bludgeoning damage. The tail slams down onto you.
And also
Miserable.
off the grenade.
But it's not a concussion
You know what?
grenade.
Oh, I'm right fucking there. I was gonna move.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
And down onto the grenade you set on the ground.
Why does it seem like Grog always gets nailed
Grenade? It's
by
already
things like
armed,
this?
isn't it?
It has
It is
nails
filled
in
with
it.
black powder and it is a
Oh, shit,
triggable
I'm
mechanism.
sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Because you're totally at Travis. Travis looks genuinely
You
pissed
appreciate
off.
it, do you? Do you appreciate it? Do you appreciate it?
Slams into you into the ground. It's
also
slams
gonna hurt
into the
it.
grenade, and there's a poof, an explosion muffled sound from underneath the tail. I want Grog and Scanlan.
I know we're going
to go
way
ahead and
beyond
make
everything I've
dexterity
said.
saving throws.
And it,
Yes, 21.
yes.
I gotta stop there. It's too perfect. 245. Honestly, the fact that Coco is running back and forth, like usually she settles down at a point. So now I feel bad because she has now made her like 100th lap around the room. So 245, already way past what I said anyway. Because we were supposed to go to 210. And then I said, all right, we'll do 25. We ended up doing 35 minutes of bonus time. I don't know how this happened, but now we only have a 10-minute Vox o'clock. I'm going to take 5 minutes from Patreon just because I think it's hilarious that we ended up with too much time and then somehow ended up with not enough time. So we're going to have like the Patreon hour, I always talk for 15 minutes anyway. So we'll have over an hour of Patreon regardless. We're going to have like a 10 or 15 minute Vox o'clock, and then we will be done with part 2 of the Trial of the Take. I also looked ahead and I saw that the next episode is a short one as well, I think. Let me look. We'll look together right now. We'll look together. A horse of a different color. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, episode 20. 3 hours and 14 minutes. Am I crazy, or is that less than the episode before? Well, now I can't see. How do we see? Campaign 1. Oh, I probably should have done it that way. Either way.
I can't help it.
I can't help it. You shut your mouth, Orion. All right. I know 302. Oh, right. No, 18 was shorter. One was 257. All right. There has been some short ones. So the next one is 314. This one was 428. So to put it into perspective, it was like an hour and 15 minutes short. The next week's is an hour and 15 minutes shorter. But then we go to almost 5 hours on the next 2 episodes. Next 2 episodes after that. So, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason. Some are just really long. Some aren't. That being said, we will have a full Patreon hour. We will have the Vox o'clock 15 minutes. And then next week, expect a really short one. Because you got to assume there's at least a 10 or 15 minute break. Probably at least a 20-minute outro, probably a 10-minute intro. So if you add all that together, on average, you usually deduct about an hour. I find there's usually about 10 minutes in the beginning, 20 minutes at the end, 20 minutes in the middle. If you subtract it all, it's 45 minutes to an hour. So that being said, that'll leave us with like maybe 2.5 hours. Insanity. The compilation is hilarious. You don't believe it until you see it. Next week, The Legend of the Dice Curse. The Legend of the Dice Curse. Free Coco. Yeah, Coco is just sitting there. She's literally just sitting there looking at me like, you son of a bitch. Have a great weekend, everybody. Michael, I will text you shortly. I just got to get like everything done over here. And then I want to start cooking dinner because I slow cook everything. So text me if I don't text you about Final Fantasy. Seeing the first time is funny. Seeing it also work on the reverse is when it gets scary. Until next week, people. See you guys next week. All right, I'm going to shout everybody out. Here we go. One last shout out. Vero G, Michael, my brother Ray, the Dude JB, and Ace, my moderators. I don't think we saw Ace pop up, but Ace is probably lingering in the background. Holly Mac 79, Sean M. We had Star, clever name I made, M. Gormley, Marion Ravenwood. Congratulations on the new job. Colvin, Ninja Master, Sean M. If I'm repeating names, sorry, but I am rapid fire going through. M. Gormley, I think I said that as well. I know I saw Noah Summers. We had Callisto Warrior Queen, Amy and David France, the Northern Lion Hiking Viking. Little Power Monster. I'm just trying to shout out everybody I can think of that I haven't seen in a bit. I know a lot of people are waiting for the 20. Shane Baron, Ninja Master with the $4 in super chats. Backless Door. I don't know if Backless Door is still with us. I'm pretty sure they probably are. Everybody, I love you. And is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? Is it Friday? I'm just gonna